You can kiss my rear end.
Man, do I like that.
And now, your sport hold leader, 560 WQAM, presents the Fat Ass Sports Dyke. We hope you like her enough to forget all about Neil Rogers, so we can forge ahead to failure and suck Jello poppers off Harry Beasley's thigh. Haven't heard the Fat Ass Sports Dyke yet? Clarence, our expert radio program director, says,
she may bleed on the chair, but then again, so do I after a day. And she is a female, but she talks sports, 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 sports. Oh, and that's the only thing that matters to me.
The Fat Ass Sports Dyke is having a diabetic leg removed today. So filling in for the vacationing Fat Ass Sports Dyke is George Rodriguez.
Like
so now,
it's
time to talk Gator football with George Rodriguez.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
You like it?
Maybe I do.
Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts, and Romans, and Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts, and Romans, and Corinthians, Ephesians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation.
Wow, 10:03, 560 WQAM. Neil has the flu, and that's actually for real this time. By the way, you know we make stuff up all the time, but it's so obvious that you ought to know when it's sarcastic. I mean, it's not like when the first team used to do it, and I didn't have a problem with that. I'm not saying it like I'm bitching about it. When someone would take a day off or have a vacation or something of that sort, they would make something up.
They got arrested.
And they got arrested. They're in rehab. Sometimes that was true, too. Sometimes the being arrested was true, for that matter. But I always thought when I was listening to them... and the first team was, mildly interesting to listen to. But, I wouldn't, listen in the car, listen in the hall over here. I thought, it's so obvious that they're being sarcastic. But yet, people would call up taking it all seriously. I discovered something in all the years doing the show, whether it's, on this side of the mic or that side or whatever. There are three things, there are three phenomenons going on. Mm-hmm. There's reality, there's what you say on the air, and there's what people think, and they're completely different from each other. It doesn't matter what you say on the air. It doesn't matter what reality is. People will still come to their own conclusions. And it's weird. You do these appearances, and people start asking you questions, and I'm like, why would you think that? That's the opposite of what we said on the air. It's like, because I know that whatever you guys say on the air is a lie. It's, okay, no, not everything. Sometimes we actually tell the truth on the air.
Or we'll tell partial truth.
Or we'll tell partial truth, or we'll exaggerate, or something, because it's a product after all. But it doesn't matter. You could be deadly serious, and people don't believe you. Phil Hendry found that out. He tried to do that trip to Ireland, which was a for real deal, but because Phil Hendry was always doing all these crazy scams, nobody believed it. They got 2 people, maybe 3, after a month of promoting this thing, and there were spots, there were promos. And they didn't believe it. They thought, it's a big Phil Hendry scam. You paint yourself into a corner when everything that you do is shenanigans, is a scam. But so there it is. What does that have to do with nothing? Nothing. Neil has the flu. No, he really, really does. He called me on the cell phone this morning on the way to work, and the Toronto flu.
Oh, they have their own
what
flu?
he said he had. And that's all right. Actually, whatever, because it's Friday. I like doing Friday. If I'm going to do one of these fill-in shows on the sperm of the moment, Friday. Thank God for that, because it's F-off Friday for everyone most of the time, right? If you have a normal daytime job.
Correct.
Fridays are always F-off Friday. You wake up in an F-off frame of mind. You wake up planning how it is that you're going to F off, planning how it is that you're already thinking of your scam while you're pouring the coffee or taking that morning shower. You're already thinking about, how am I going to not come back from lunch? What am I going to come up with? What am I going to cook up today to not come back from lunch, so that I just go to lunch and I'll just either... Some people are lucky they have a job where they won't be noticed, where it's just stuff that needs to be done but nobody's hanging over their shoulder and stuff. Those people never come back from lunch. Right? Correct. And then the other people got to come up with some excuse. They got to call up and pretend that they got car trouble. I got car trouble.
I did that a couple times when I have a job.
Oh, radiator blew up yesterday. Thermostat kind of thing. And, of course, it blew a hose. And this valve is leaking now and everything because it's old. The Durango is old. It's a 2000 and it's blowing up.
All four babies.
So, Brian from Auto Express, because I'm lazy. I don't want to have to get somebody to follow me, friend or a family member to follow me to the garage. You fill out the thing, and then you got to get a ride back home, and you wait for them to call you, and you got to go back and get the car. No, man. Auto Express, baby. Call him up, comes over in his van, fixes it, charges you a lot of money, and then he leaves. It's worth it, though. It's worth it for lazy people like me. And how about this for luck? It's almost like the turn signal activated the explosion. I'm getting ready to pull into the parking lot over here. I'm driving up 441. And I turn the turn signal on to make the right-hand turn near the parking lot. As soon as I click it, radiator fluid everywhere. And I had just filled it up yesterday. I didn't know that the valve was bad. I thought, it's overheating. Or the thermostat, whatever it was. So anyway, car trouble. I could make that up. But here's the thing. When you're doing a radio show, your absence will be noticed.
Yeah.
So we're stuck here. We're stuck here for 4 hours. And that's fine. I got some pent-up material that I had been writing down on my little notebook, and some lighthearted stuff too. But, those people that follow the soap opera might be interested to know that there was a whole lot of, there was a great deal of fallout. And I'm gonna talk about it. It pissed me off. It brought me to tears. Really, I wound up getting, eyes full of tears over what these, some of these belly dancing bitches.
Oh, yes.
The belly I created, here's the end of the story. I was the catalyst, or I and this show and our group were the catalyst in what eventually became a schism.
Really?
The Miami Belly Dance group split, or a group of them splintered off as a result of that belly dance roller skating party.
Wow.
And my subsequent comments about the party. And the appearance of the belly dancers on the show. Some of the other members of the group, green persimmon-sucking prigs, hypocritical bitches, and I will talk about them in great detail, except I won't identify you by name, you whose fake name begins with a K, with your adultery and your boob job and your finger pointing. The hypocrisy is dizzying. And people who don't get it, people who are really stupid, and people, several of them, who I believe this is all the faction that split off, these 10-foot electric butt plugs, the hypocrisy, and the mental illness. I mean, we're talking about delusional people, crazy people. They're everywhere. And see, this is the problem with these, with groups, is there's always, no matter what it is, no matter what the group is all about, whether it's a meetup group or a social group or any kind of a group or club, Kiwanis, whatever it is, there's always going to be at least one, maybe more than one person that finds their way into that group, and it's going to be one of those kinds of people. What kind of people? The people who exist just to have problems. Like, your life must be just perfect and spectacular, because it seems that all you have to do, the only thing that you have time for, is to have problems with other people and what they're doing. So your life must be freaking perfection, man. You must be living the life of Jesus You must have everything tied down and nailed down in your own life because obviously you think that somebody gave you the license to point your finger at other people and have problems with it. And then there's another phenomenon which we can talk about a little bit today. People who take a class, and I've encountered this with sign language. Initially, I encountered it, and now I'm encountering it with the belly dancing. And I'm going to use, whatever, maybe roller skating. We could use, like, I don't know if you belong to a group of some sort or a social scene, but it's like this. Here's the thing that I don't understand. People go and take a class and learn how to do something, and as a result of that, as the result of learning how to do a skill or an art, they feel that somebody has given them, like appointed them as the guardians of the reputation of that skill or art. You follow what I'm saying? Like you took a belly dancing class and now you know how to belly dance. And for some reason, you feel like somebody ordained you as the Pope of belly dancing. And the image and the concept of belly dancing is it's your responsibility to protect that image. And if someone is appreciating your art or your skill in a way that isn't okay with you, then it's your job to pitch a fit about that. God forbid that a normal man should have what I consider to be a normal reaction to a beautiful woman moving beautifully. Because I consider myself very normal in that respect, a very normal, red-blooded, heterosexual male with a pulse. And when a beautiful woman moves beautifully, that's going to move me in a variety of ways. And I don't feel guilty about that. I feel very normal about that. They would have to check me for an alien implant if I had had any other kind of a reaction to the beautiful Isis and her performance. So here's her card right here. I have it on display. I keep it right here on the board so that her face is there in front of my face every day. She's one of my top MySpace friends. She didn't have a problem with anything. We might get her on the phone at some point today. And Medina and Jeanette from the group. They were shredded. The two organizers, the two wonderful, nice ladies with good senses of humor who did all this work, and not just for that party, but all the time for all these parties. They do all this work, and what do they get for it? They get shredded by these catty, think that they were appointed the guardians of the reputation of belly dance, and that anybody who doesn't appreciate it on the way that they feel it should be appreciated, well, you just don't know. You're just not educated. I should go on the group and print up some of the things that these people wrote. They were going nuts. Me and Josh Cordes practically raped everybody at that party. You saw it, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You saw us just throwing women down on the ground and just humping them right there in front of my wife and everybody. You would have thought that by the way that these shrews were shrieking. Some of them.
So it's okay to comment artistically, but if you make any type of sexual comment, it's no good? Or
you know what? There was one or several of them. I didn't take belly dancing for someone to call me hot. There were some. I don't know which one. I do, but I'm going to pretend I don't. See how it works to protect the guilty. Josh Cordes and I, had the nerve to refer to some of the dancers as hot. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Well, they were.
They were. And, excuse me, sorry, I take it back. I'm sorry that I called you hot. You know who would love to be called hot? People who aren't. People who don't hear that. Bitch, and I do mean, because I went through some things. At first I was hurt and I was sad.
Oh, yeah, this was going on for a week or two.
Then I started getting bitter. Yeah, this was over
it.
the holidays. This is what I had to do with over the holiday, not to mention other things that I won't talk about on the air. But, is these women, and like I got to justify my existence to them, and I wrote a nice little post explaining, look, this is a radio show, this is an act like y'all put up on a costume, and put on an act, so do we, except it's not so much of a costume, but it is an act. Anybody that knows me in my real life knows what the difference is between how I represent myself on the air and how it is in real life. I got 2 daughters, for Christ's sakes, to be saying that I'm a misogynist and sexist, objectifying women and this and that. You're a scantily clad woman gyrating, okay? I don't equate you with a stripper or a whore or anything like that. You're a beautiful woman gyrating, and I have the appropriate reaction to that. If you're hot, I say, God, that's hot. That's really hot, okay? I was just talking last night at the roller rink. Girls who roller skate well is hot to me. It's graceful. It looks like they're flying. Even an ugly girl will draw my eye if she moves really well, if she skates really well, whether it's dancing or skating or anything like that. Strike me with lightning for feeling that way. Okay, there it is. But we'll get into that in a little more detail. And I got some other, stuff and nonsense that we can go on today. Here's a little peek. Because I want to know what the current game is in Florida these days. The current Made You Look game. More on that. There are throughout time, and across the nation, there have been various incarnations of you make someone look and then there's a penalty.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Various incarnations, and we'll talk about that. This will be the most interesting topic that we've ever discussed since Tetherball. 10:16 on 560 QAM.
As a member of an NFL championship team and as a business owner, take it from me, the Mad Dog, being part of a team is of utmost importance. I'd like to tell you about the winning team at Labor Finders. Labor Finders is the preeminent supplier of temporary labor. Whether you need help for one day or for longer, Labor Finders has dependable workers for construction, light industrial.
Lock your mouth.
You know, this is very personal for me. It's not just political. It's not just public. I see what's happening. We have to reverse it. I have so many opportunities for this country. I just don't want to see us fall backwards.
If you will, the candidate who lots of people think is a witch. Barack Obama bothers her. Hillary wants to hit him with her fist. If you can, the White House instead of Air Force One, he'll fly on a broom. What will the war be like and home foreclosures? You'll feel the heat. You may not know what to do. Being in charge is demanding.
Stand up for me!
And people think she's too cold
to get elected in the first place.
Obama's lead is expanding.
To feel pride.
Her face has lots of wrinkles. She looks old, yells at me like she's my mother.
The goodness and greatness of America.
Her tears were a lie.
I just don't want to see us fall backwards.
Candidates scream at each other. This is what it sounds like when Hillary cries.
Oh, Barack Obama wants this more. Well, you don't realize that I'm making you all a ton of money, and all you do is write a bunch of garbage about me. You're lucky I'm even campaigning for you bastards. Leave Hillary alone.
Yeah. 1021, 560 WQAM. I'm not going to be talking about any of that, although we have some bits like that I guess I'll play once each. They're mildly funny. I'll just blow them out. I downloaded a whole bunch this morning. That's all that's there now. And on CNN too, they're just filling time, killing time with this campaign crap, and the same thing on the comedy bits. The comedy services are just a waste anymore. Just a complete waste. Ever since Janet Gate. The wife says she's tired of people that add gate on the end of things. So that's for you, honey. And while I'm shouting out, because I told her that I'd be talking about her today, best mixed disc ever. Don't want to, make you feel bad, Lee, across the hall, but you'll understand when I lend this to you because you're getting this over the weekend. Or Luis, the Galaxy kid, who's given me a lot of great music and a lot of discs, but this has spent more time in my CD player than anything else I've ever gotten. And it was a birthday double disc set from one of the Derby Girls.
That's
and I'm going to compare, because, we... I interacted with the Derby Girls, brought them on the show, promoted the group in a very similar way that I did with the belly dance group, although I did much more with the Derby Girls because we wind up in the same place a lot together, like last night at the roller rink, Derby Girls and me and my friends, skating around. And I just want to compare the two different reactions and the two different groups, because certainly there are, I don't know what percentage of the Derby Girls are militant lesbians, but there's a presence there, going all the way up to, high-ranking members who are very close friends of mine and near to my heart. And we approached them, and their appearance on the show with the same kind of a sense of humor. At no point did any of the Derby Girls ever say, "Oh, you're not taking the sport seriously. Oh my God, you're exploiting us. Oh my God, you're sexually harassing us. Oh my God." Never heard any kind of a whiff of negativity. Laughter. "Oh, that's so funny. Thank you for promoting us. Hey, that was great." They got it. Real people with a sense of humor who understand show business, the radio show, me with a sense of humor, and by contrast, and we'll, and I'll go into more detail later, but I don't want to get bogged down in this. I just want to shout out because I told her I would. Bunny Bombardier, one of the Derby Girls, nicest thing in the red. She knows it's my favorite color. Birthday mix disc that I got, like on my birthday, which was December 6th, and it's been living in my CD player ever since then. It's so good that I've fallen behind listening to things like my CMJ New Music Monthly is still sitting there. I have yet to put it in the player. People give me CDs. Dan from Phineas J. Whoopi gave me a CD. I have yet to listen to it. So what I'm going to do is, Lee, you get to take this home for the weekend, and you can enjoy this double CD mix disc that Bunny Bombardier made for me. Thank you. And then you'll understand why it took me so long. It's the only way that I'm going to be able to listen to anything else that anybody else has given me is to get rid of this thing, is to put it somewhere else, digitize it, and put it in somebody else's hand, get it out of my car, because it's all I can. It's all I can do. Favorite track, she just happened to make it the first track on disc 2, Elephant Gun by Beirut. What a good band. You'll never hear them on the radio down here. They don't fit into any of the format, any of the corporate cookie cutter, last year's MTV throwaway jukebox. All the radio stations in this town, the best of them sift through the dumpsters of radio stations and MTV and just things that are already old, things that are already tired, things that are already safe, but they were safe last year or 2 years ago. Old, lame, tired crap. You're not going to hear anything new or fresh on the radio unless you listen to this show, and I just might play Elephant Gun by Beirut. Not that that's the only thing on here. Fortet. I don't know if you've ever heard of Fortet. Probably not, because you're here. Incredible stuff, minus the bear she put on here. And she even put like a rare Beatles song on here just for variety's sake. And I thought, I know that song. It's great. Good stuff. Cat Power, Gold Frap, Jarvis Cocker, if I can say that on the radio while supplies last. Iron and Wine, what is it? Iron and Wine Calixico? I think that's a local group. My daughter was telling me she actually heard about them. Whoa, what was that?
I have no idea, but I think our building's breaking up.
Good! So I just wanted to officially thank Bunny Bombardier for the best mix CD that I've gotten, if not ever, in a very, very long time. Good stuff over here. And here it is, Lee. I'm gonna set it over here because I might play Elephant Gun by Beirut. Good video too. If you want to, go on YouTube. Type in the little search box, Beirut and Elephant Gun. Really good song. It's got a mandolin. It's acoustic sounding. As a matter of fact, this whole disc 2 is a lot of really mellow acoustic sounding stuff, which is nice. That's another reason it's been a very pleasant listen.
Mandolin's like that guitar thing, right?
Like the little, okay. I mean, I'll bust some out for you if you want. I might just play it before the day's out. I could play the whole thing. I could just put this on and then go have lunch or something. It's that enjoyable, just and over and over and over again. So thank you, Bunny. She's a honey bunny too. She might win. I don't want to play that kind of a contest with the Derby Girls. But if they were going to have a cute contest, she might just win. She's got them glasses, Mm-hmm. I don't know if girls with glasses,
Yes.
If the glasses are good, if they're cute, and the girl's cute, it can work.
It adds.
It's a good combo sometimes. We got the Jax Show coming up at 2 o'clock today. Only one
So
thing.
I hear you had a chit-chat with
We
Tweak?
bonded. Tweak was in here this morning. We bonded. He's a character. There's nothing wrong with him, and there's nothing wrong with Jax except what they talk about on the air. They're talking about, and I explained that to Tweak, you're talking about the only thing I don't need to hear anyone talk about. I don't watch other people play games, and I sure as hell don't talk about watching other people play games. Not since I discovered girls has that been something worth my time. But y'all go. Have a good time with that. You're doomed to fail. It doesn't matter. Here's the facts. As a matter of fact, I don't know what you want me to do about this, whoever faxed this in. George, please pass on to WQAM management. No mas J touchy-feely with Joe Rose in the morning. I'm begging you, please leave Joe Rose alone. Insert Britney, leave Britney alone, drop here. Let me tell you something, whoever faxed this. The call letters of this station might as well be WACK. Backwards radio for the new millennium. Anything that's good, you won't hear, and anything that's bad, they'll go to great lengths and great trouble and great expense to put a whole lot of it on for you. That's what we have here. That's what we're surrounded by. Just so you know, faxer, expect nothing but the worst on 560 WQAM.
What do you do when your life is a mess and you just can't take any more stress? If your trailer somehow gets repossessed, and for life you have lost all your zest, hang in there, you don't need Dr. Phil. He's a quack, talking smack, Dr. Phil. Southern drawl, know it all, Dr. Phil. Loud and brash, fat mustache, Dr. Phil. What if your wife slept with your friend at work and your father drinks and goes berserk? What if your husband has guys on the side and you found a can of Astro Glide? He's a schmuck, run amok, Dr. Phil. Big ego with a show, Dr. Phil. Bad advice, he's not nice, Dr. Phil. Got no clue or shampoo, Dr. Phil. And he don't like anybody, and he thinks he's better than you. Talks down to everybody. He's more annoying than The View. What if your son dresses up like a girl and just bought a baton he can twirl? What if your daughter dumps her boyfriend Dave and starts making love to Flavor Flav? Do not call that cue ball Dr. Phil. He's a fool, he's a tool, Dr. Phil. Trouble Lord, big blowhard, Dr. Phil. He's an ass with no class, Dr. Phil.
25 till 11, 560 WQAM. I had to take it off of CNN. You know, hello, what the hell? Oh, it just queued it up 5 times. Great.
All right.
Damn computer. Anyway. You know, I pop it on this morning so that, you know, because I'm going to do the show, so maybe I should be aware of what's going on in the world. But there's nothing, apparently, going on in the world except this campaign. And I don't have to tell you about the coverage. Because if you haven't seen it, then all you got to do is pop it on for 30 seconds and you will already be saturated with just the... because it's a bunch of stuff and nonsense, you know what I mean? They have all this time to fill and very little to fill it with, so they're just bringing on all these wags and pundits and slicing and dicing, and it's like sports talk, but just about politics. Political. They're just trying to make the best out of nothing, try to kill the most time with the least amount of material. So I'm putting it on something highly intellectual. Channel 23, telenovelas, scantily clad Latin women. Así es la vida. Yes, así es la vida. Así ought to be la vida. How do you like that for some Spanglish? Just to put you in a good mindset, because there's nothing. CNN isn't going to give me anything that I don't already know, apparently.
Now, what's worse, when they're doing the political coverage, or when they have like the disfigured children?
That's it. That's the worst thing ever. God bless them. Look, my heart goes out. We raise money for St. Jude's. Over here, you hear that belly dancing prig? Not the whole group, but hopefully, Medina and or Jeanette, you're more than welcome to call in, Medina. Send an email. We'll give you the hotline. You might already have the hotline. I feel bad for them. They got trashed more than I did. It's like, well, we expect nothing better. We don't expect anything from that kind of a pig of a man. We don't expect anything but that from him. But you should have known better, Medina. And Jeanette, shame on you. Taking the opportunity, using the group to try to sell your personal product. Those vibrating sponges are the neatest thing, the coolest thing since Upside Down Ketchup. I mean, I got more mileage on the air and off the air from that freaking vibrating sponge than any other object that I have encountered this year.
People called this week asking about them, so on the air, remember?
Right.
Now, how many people split? It was like 4 or 5.
I don't know. I didn't keep up. Maybe Medina will tell me. But there was a purge. The purge of the green persimmon sucking prigs.
Sounds like that was a good thing.
I was just shocked and dismayed. People were making things up. Oh, and I was forced to take a picture. I didn't have 5 words with anybody at that party. Except for Isis, who was my Secret Santa, and she's one of my MySpace friends, and she's a top friend, and she wrote a nice message, a couple, as a matter of fact, about, I didn't think that there was anything wrong with how you behaved at the party, around the show. I thought, I understood, of course. All the normal people understand what a radio show is about, and this one bitch, if I might, because I want to read some more Derby Girl stuff, there's news going on. The bitch that started it all. I wrote a nice response explaining it's like, look, we're doing a radio show here, and we don't take ourselves seriously, and the only thing that we do take seriously, the only thing that isn't worthy of shticklach is sick or disabled children, like when we're talking about the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, or when we're talking about deaf children and the signing stories and cochlear implants. And I did that interview that same week. I did that long interview, that half-hour interview with Jennifer Jones from the Alliance for Families with Deaf Children. And, you know, there was nothing, I didn't shtick it up with her. Of course not. Nothing funny about deaf children or anything. I mean, but belly dancing, come on, lighten up. Lighten up a little bit. The Derby girls get it. They're on board. I'm going to read this thing from Dom, the president, because they're looking for refs and other support and everything. And I'm going to continue being a booster because, and again, it's not some sport that I'm watching. It's something that I'm into, roller skating, and it's something that you can participate in. It's not something to go to watch, although you can, and they encourage you to, but it's something that you can participate in. It's way more interesting, or at least in my case, it's interesting as opposed to not interesting at all, when it's somebody that you know, a friend of yours, your wife, your daughter, your sister, your cousin, that's on the team. You go there and you root for them, you know, like they have the softball leagues. Mm-hmm. You go to the softball league and you root for your friend. I used to go to Little League and root for my friends, except that it got nauseating because I got tired of watching their own parents and other people's parents bitch at this kid for not playing a game well enough. It's a game, you moron. Did you not understand what a game is supposed to be all about? Was that not explained to you early on in your childhood that games are supposed to be fun?
No, George, it's all about winning. Where have you been?
Whatever, yeah. Whether it's a group or a team, there's always going to be people that ruin it for everybody else by taking it all way too seriously. All way too seriously. And I'll go on a long-ass tirade about the whole belly dancing thing eventually, but I got a message from Bunny saying she's going to make me another disc. It's like, well, sweet! That was a good payoff. I feel I got to make something for her, but she's like so far ahead of me as far as being up to date on what's going on musically right now that I doubt that there's anything that I could give to her that she didn't already have or was aware of. So I guess I'll just have to roll her something up or have the wife do it because you know. Mm-hmm. It's not the gift that keeps on giving, but I know that that it'll be appreciated. I feel like I got to do something because that's valuable. That's highly valuable to me. Fresh new music, I crave it. I live for it. So thank you, Bunny, once again. And thank you, Lee, because I already got big plans for this CD over the weekend that he gave me over here. And that's how we have to do it. The Music Exchange. What's the best radio station in town? Bunny's Last FM page. You know about Last. I still haven't figured out how to use it.
I've heard about it.
I'm gonna get trained on how to use it right. I use Project Playlist as you do. You told me how to do that, and that works out. I'm not finding a lot. I don't know how to do it right on Last FM, but Bunny does. That's the best radio station in South Florida. Bunny Bombardier's Last FM website, which I have spent a lot of time on. So I'll promote you. Don't worry, Dom. I'll promote this thing. See, and here's the thing. Maybe you can help me make up my mind. I'm qualified to be a ref for the Derby Girls. You know, I skate well enough. But here's my caveat, my dilemma. You know that as a ref, you're making decisions and you're making calls. And here we go again, because we were just talking. People that take it all too seriously. I've hung with them, but not in a game situation when they're competing against each other. I make a call in someone's favor against someone else. Now somebody's mad at me. You follow?
I think the girls would understand that. Look, you have to be a ref.
I hope that will be understood, but I've already been there before, or at least I've observed it. Mm-hmm. When someone wants you to be the judge, whoever that you rule against is going to be peeved at you. And if you're a human being, you're going to make mistakes, right? Umpires and refs make mistakes, do they not?
Of course,
they're humans. They make mistakes, and I'm going to screw up, and I'm going to make a wrong call, and it'll be a wrong call, and somebody's going to get mad at me, and then they won't make me a CD anymore. That's my worst.
Now,
I don't want these bitches mad at me.
I think the bigger question
is,
can you be unbiased?
Sure.
And root against, make calls against,
Well, first of all, this is all, nothing's official right now, and what they're doing is they're taking the group, and I assume, I'm going to get somebody on the phone at some point. I assume they're going to split the group up into two teams and, compete against each other themselves. Like the Broward County Derby Girls. So, and it's not going to be for serious and it's not going to be for real, but still, I know it because there's no such thing as a game situation. I have yet to encounter a group of people playing a game, whatever it is, little girls playing hopscotch, that one of the people playing, taking it all too seriously. I don't know where that group of people, whatever the game is, handball, pitching pennies against the wall. It doesn't matter if it's not for money. If it doesn't matter if it's not for serious. It doesn't matter if it's a pickup game of whatever, one-on-one basketball at the freaking park, at TY Park, a group of guys spontaneously having a pickup game of basketball. It doesn't matter. I've never seen a group of people get together to play a game where there wasn't at least one MFer in that group taking it all too seriously, ruining it for everybody else. Have you?
I'd have to say no.
Okay, then, that's my concern. 17 till 11 on Taking It All Too Seriously Radio, 560 WQAM.
WQAM, your sports goal-worshipping weirdo homo headquarters, where sports is the only thing that matters. Yes, where sports matters more than anything in life. Sports means more to us than the health of our children. Most of us are gay, so we don't have any children. Even our lovers and friends, those of us lucky enough to have any. Sports matters more than they do. Our Sports Matters Management, who says we're heading in the right direction, just like Captain Smith said on the Titanic, indifferently presents another train wreck of unarable garbage. The Jason Jennifer Sheila Jackson Lee Show.
Or you could call me Jackson, or you could call me Jason, but just doesn't have to call me JJ.
Right here in Miami.
It's O'Connor, right here in Miami. Yeah.
The Jason Jennifer Sheila Jackson Lee Show.
Welcome to the Jason Jackson Jennifer Lee Show on sports. What a show we got for you. Can you give us a call at WQAM on 560? We've been taking a lot of heat for those drums. And speaking of heat, a little bit we'll be talking about the heat. A little bit of a segue there. Not bad, see? I'm learning. For some people, it takes over 30 years to get it down, but when I look up from the program director's weight, I can tell by the smile on his face, I got this time slot. Anyways, in a little bit, we'll be joined by self-proclaimed superstar sports writer Menashe Skolnick.
Hi.
Evan Cohen.
Oi.
And Dolphin Team Rabbi Shecky Mermelstein. We'll get back to our guests in just a little bit after we figure out how to make an entry on this piece of paper. What is this called? Call it a what? A log. There's a time at my desk, I guess it's for the commercials. It's time for the commercials. A break. Yeah, that's it. Okay, just a little bit.
10 till 11, 560 WQAM. Yeah, there's only one thing wrong with that show, and that's it's guaranteed that they'll never, ever be talking about anything that I would ever want to hear anyone talk about. If I were interested in men playing games, I would watch the game. I would listen to the pundits, the wags, the announcer and the color guy that talk ad nauseum about stuff that they don't even need to be talking about anyway, because we all saw the same thing, right? It's like, it's weird. I was talking to Tweak this morning trying to explain it to him. It's like you're all sitting there at Thanksgiving dinner, and there's somebody there at the dinner saying, and now we're having turkey. And now here comes the gravy. The gravy is brown. Those are mashed potatoes. And you want to say to that guy, we're all sitting right here. Who are you doing that play-by-play for? Is there somebody... Do you have a microphone? Is there somebody that, are you feeding someone line somewhere? Are you describing this for somebody that isn't here? If you're a Gomp fan, a fan of games other men play, you're watching it. What does somebody need to tell you? Somebody threw the ball. Somebody either caught it or didn't. We all saw it, right? Mm-hmm. It either fell to the ground or in the guy's arms. He either scored or he didn't. And now you need to have somebody tell you what just happened? Wait, no, that's not good enough. After you saw it happen, and after these guys told you what happened, and then discussed what just happened, for the people that are too stupid or blind to realize what just happened, now, for the rest of the day, the next day, somebody is going to repeat that over and over again and tell you again what you all already saw. The logic of that escapes me, all right? The selling point, the value of that is beyond me. So because of that, I can't listen to the rest of the radio station because I have no interest in the first place. And if I did have an interest, I would watch the game. And then I would continue not listening because I don't need somebody telling me what I just saw. Are you on Channel 23?
Oh, definitely.
Why aren't you? Oh, okay. See, there you go. Way better than CNN. A topless woman. It's not even 11 o'clock, and here's a topless woman. Of course, they're not going to show her cans. They're going to show her back. By the way, these, the splitter group that split off from the Miami Belly Dance group would have a problem with me referring to that woman's breasts as cans, of course. The Derby Girls, on the other hand, would chime right in and go, yeah, man, because they're good sports with a sense of humor. So they're looking for refs and other people. I'll read Dom's email here in a minute. But first, QAM, hello.
Hey, George, what's going on?
How are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm well.
Good. Quick question for you guys. When it comes to the ratings, Neil said the ratings are coming out next week.
We get the book.
Okay. Does that factor in internet listeners or no?
No, yes and no. In the market, see, here's how it works. Within the market, see, they send the diaries to people in the market, right? And it doesn't matter if you listen on an actual radio or on the internet. What matters is if you listen or if you don't. What doesn't factor in is people listening on the internet outside of the market, because they don't, which is sad and unfortunate, because we do have a lot of people that listen all around the country and the world even, and ratings don't reflect that. Because that's not how Arbitron does it. Arbitron doesn't send diaries to, Yenamsveld, North Dakota, to see how many people are listening in Yenamsveld. The diary system is a bad, flawed, archaic, fossilized system that needs to be replaced by something more accurate.
Huh. Okay,
but there's the answer. I mean, like Bunny Bombardier is listening on the internet right now. Okay, so she could write that down in the ratings diary that she was listening to the show because she's in the market. If she had a diary, she might have gotten one. Somebody might have mailed one to her, you see. So there's the answer.
Well, I got a comment for you. I went over to my buddy's house and I tried his Volcano, which is the vaporizer.
Yeah.
Man, awesome, George.
I hear. Listen, if I don't get one for free, I'm never going to own one. They're expensive and they're too much trouble.
I know, and you know what? That's how I am.
Listen, how are you going to sneak a volcano out back real quick?
That's true.
You know?
And it'd be useless to not use it on anything else.
It's this huge thing, and it kind of goes against my whole philosophy, which is working for weed. Weed isn't about work. Weed's about not working. Weed's about slacking.
Oh, absolutely. And
I don't want to go to any more trouble. The wife goes to more trouble than I'm willing to go to. I'll break off a tree branch and shove it into a bowl and set fire to the whole thing, stem and all. I don't care. I'm a man, baby. But she's got to clean it meticulously. That's fine. Good. I'm glad you'll do it because I won't.
Yeah, and the only problem is unless you got some high-grade THC, high-grade chronic with a lot of THC, you don't want to put rags or anything else into that volcano.
No, Lord. I don't know what anything else is.
Good amount of it.
All right.
Take care, George. Have a great weekend.
All right. Have several. 5670560, and I don't know why I'm reading the number out because I'm going to take a break here in a minute. But I might as well. I'm really stuck on this soap opera right now. They got the chick tied to a tree, and they're using her as bait. What a great soap opera this is. I hope it's for a monster.
No, I think it's for these guys that are...
I know it's not going to be for a monster.
Unfortunately.
Or an alien. I totally... You know what?
Oh, she got her shirt back now.
I know. You could trap me with her.
Oh, yeah.
If you used her as bait. So, Dom, the president of the Broward County Derby Girls, which is bcdg.net, I'll read that over and over again, sends me a nice email. They love me and I love them, and they're good sports with a sense of humor. They don't need therapy. If they do, they don't need uptight therapy. They don't need to have a 10-foot electric butt plug surgically extracted from their butts, from their rectum. Hey, George, what's up? Just letting you know we're scheduling a tournament, bringing down 3 other up-and-coming Florida leagues for a 2-day tournament in March, working on nailing down a date. Should have it soon, and, of course, I will tell the audience on what they do. Anyway, I need volunteers, specifically people who can skate, who want to ref. They should be good skaters, be able to skate for about 2 hours, maneuver, etc. They can do quads or inlines. It doesn't matter. Know anyone? By the way, you should totally ref. We're going to be having a ref training in the next couple of weeks, so they don't need to know S about the rules. They just have to be able to come to the training and a few practices a month for practice, specifically when we're scrimmaging. We're also looking for tournament sponsors who want to give us money in exchange for a lot of free promo. We need halftime entertainment. We currently have, are you ready for this? This is a fun group. We currently have a burlesque show, female jello wrestling, bands, a martial arts demo in the works, but we need a lot more stuff. Hey, I could hook you up with some belly dancers. I know a few that have a good sense of humor, and a few that don't. Anyway, just seeing if anyone would be interested in any of the above. Thanks. Have a happy new year. You too, Dom. That's Dom E. Nation from the Broward County Derby Girls. She's the president and founder of the Broward County Derby Girls, and they have a website now, browardcountydarbygirls.net. It's bcdg.net. Also, their MySpace is myspace.com, Broward County Derby Girls. That's GRRLS. A really nice, not uptight, fun bunch of people. And it's not just girls. It's just girls, on the team. Going to be competing, but the support staff is a lot of other people, and they do need some volunteers for a variety of things. So go to bcdg.net and volunteer for something. And you know what? I might yet allow them to talk me into reffing. That was my only concern, and time. I'm spending a lot of time outside of the house these days. I barely have time for the philandering that I want to get done. 3 till 11 on 560 WQAM.
Do you want to run faster?
Oops, that was a mistake. Oh, that's a good day.
Bigger and bigger because of you. Wonderful WQAM. The station with the happy DJ.
Yes.
Women with smooth pie, and women who's somebody's wife. Women who don't wear a bra, or Cuban women with a bra. Women in a limousine, especially when they're in the back with me. Women who piss off management, who can't understand why I don't like men. They want to keep the format locker room gay, but I ain't gonna talk about sportotainment.
No.
No. I want women. Women with symmetrical breasts, who like men with tiny chests. I drunk chicks with lickable armpits. Women with a morning voice, and women who use boys like rubber toys. Women instead of sports fact nerds who would rather inhale an athlete's turd. They may cater to a few sporthole queers, but they ain't gonna smell no jockstraps here.
No.
Women, I want your women. Women who use moist wipes, and women who know hand signs. Oh! Women rubbing soft hands on a puny Cuban man. Women with hungry thighs, and women who prefer to be with women than guys. I want more women on my show to break away from all the sports homos. Women take the jock sketch out of this place, wherein all sports worn out is far too gay.
Gay. 11:04. Speaking of sports, on 560 WQAM, WB. It's great when people respond to points I didn't make. So we'll just pretend that I said this stuff that he's responding to.
Okay.
And then I'll respond to it. Partially disagree with you on the all kids should play and bitching parents. Did you hear me say all kids should play? Did I say anything remotely resembling all kids should play?
No.
Okay, well, Will decided that, he had a response to that point if I had made it. So he responded to the point that I didn't make. I 100% agree that parents should shut up the hell up. As far as inferior kids not getting equal playing time, that's where I disagree. What radio show were you listening to?
His own.
I guess. I've been both a parent and a coach at the youth level. It's a tough call. Oftentimes, the kid who sucks is the kid who doesn't show up for practice, doesn't give a shiite about anything except putting on a uniform and playing on game day, or has something else to do every other game and doesn't show up. Really not fair to the kid who puts out the effort, does the right things, and is a good kid who doesn't think he is special. Tough call, but fat-ass, lazy kid gets the same reward. Yes, people take organized and recreational sports way too seriously, and when it does, I walk away. Excuse me.
Just walk away.
I've been a good athlete. I am and have been a good athlete, but seriously draw the line at the macho men who have no other life. Those guys also happen to be the ones who end up being an obnoxious parent with their kids playing, says WB, responding to the point that he heard on some other radio show, and he must have thought, and it was me saying that. I didn't say all kids should play.
No, you didn't.
At all. Nor do I think that all kids should play. The thing about, Little League and the extracurricular sports is they have these things called tryouts. See, there are options available for you when you're a youngster, and sometimes because you're good and interested in playing the physical team games beyond what you do in PE, they have after-school sports, and then they have Little League, which is outside of the school. as I understand it, right? Little League is, the Rotary or the Kiwanis or the other people arrange Little League teams, and if your child has an interest, and there it is, when your kid shows an interest in, say, sign language, you do it with them. Pokemon, you do it with them. Whatever it is that your kid shows an interest in, if you are a good parent, you humor them, you encourage them, and if you have the ability, you do it with them. You practice with them. I'm not talking about talentless kids, fat, lazy kids, whatever, wanting to be on the team because they want to wear the uniform. That's another radio show for another day. I got nothing to do with that. That wasn't me, and that wasn't anybody that I knew. That's your problem over there, Little League coach. Well, that's not my problem. My problem was not an athletic parent sitting in the stands yelling at his child for not being as athletic as daddy. That's not what I saw. I went to cheer for my friends, and what I saw were fat, disgusting oafs, tubs, pasty, doughy tubs that never saw the sun, yelling at the top of their voice at their own child and someone else's child for not being up to their standards, as if they were some pro sport coach from the stands, hurling insults at a child, their own and someone else's, for not being up to what they thought their level should be. Fat, doughy, probably can't see their own member without a mirror, without squatting on the floor and looking into a mirror. Probably has to have a sketch artist draw it for them. Probably has to hang upside down so that the fat rolls away from it enough so that somebody else can see it and describe it to them. Those are the fat oafs, the fat tubs, the beer-swilling tubs with a can of beer in one hand, gesturing with the other hand, yelling at their own child and somebody else's child for doing something that they themselves don't have the ability to do, Will. That's the issue that I had. It was nauseating. It was nauseating and disgusting, and I didn't want to be any part of it. Something that was supposed to be fun. Something that I know every one of those kids signed up because they thought they were going to be having a good time. And what's good about having adults hurl insults at you for making a mistake, for making an error? In a game, games don't matter. That's why they were supposed to be fun in the first place, because it doesn't matter. Everything, you show up to work, everything that you do matters. Somebody's looking over your shoulder, getting ready to criticize you for everything that you do. You make a mistake, your boss is going to chew you out, or a client is going to chew you out. You make a mistake, you got to run around and apologizing and making it up to people. You got to make it better for people. You're going to get chewed out. You make a mistake on the road, you have an accident, or you get a ticket. There are negative ramifications for making a mistake out on the road. You get home, you say the wrong thing or the right thing to your wife. It doesn't matter. You're going to get bitched at no matter what you do. Nothing's good enough. Everything matters. Everything that you say matters. Everything that you do matters. So maybe for a few hours in a day, you want to engage in some sort of an activity where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you drop the ball. It's just a game. It doesn't matter if you cross a line or if you don't cross a line. It's just a game. It doesn't matter if you hit the ball with a stick or if you missed it with a stick. I hope to hit it with a stick, but if I miss, whatever, it doesn't matter because it's just a game. I want to do something for a little while where if I F up, it doesn't matter. That's fun. That's relaxation. That's a game. But no. There's always going to be at least one person making sure that you're not going to have fun and no one else is either, because they're going to pretend like it's important. Well, it isn't important, and if it was important, I wouldn't be doing it. I do important things all day long. I'm playing a game now, and I'm playing it because it isn't important. And if you're going to make it important, I'm going to have a problem with you. And I'm going to leave the group or insist that you leave the group. Same goes for derby. Same goes for belly dancing. Belly dancing of all things, for Christ's sake. Woo! It's this high art. It's an art like any other art. No more, no less. Big deal. It's like painters. You're taking my art seriously. I don't have to take your art seriously. It's a subjective medium. I can criticize it. I can like it. I can not like it. I can give it a thumbs up. I can give it a thumbs down. I can say it's good. I can say it sucks. Because that's the contract between artist and audience. Just like on a radio show. People call up, hey, great show. People call up, you suck. That's how it works when you're an artist. This one bitch, the one that started it all. Oh, if you want to be so controversial, why don't you do a show about how women are persecuted in the Middle East? Are you ready for that, Chris? That's controversial? Let's role play that right now, if you will. Hey, Chris, you know the Muslims over there in the Middle East, the Taliban, they make the women wear burqas and everything? Women are persecuted in the Middle East, Chris.
Really? You don't say?
Yes, they are. I do say. What do you think about that? What should we do about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I think that's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Okay, anybody who thinks that's a good thing, you call up right now. Any Taliban, any Muslims you want to call up? See, this bitch doesn't even understand the meaning of the word controversy. As if. You're an idiotic, stupid, needs psychotherapy, hypocritical, smelly bitch. You know who you are. QAM, hello.
Can you say Billy Bat again?
No. I wasn't going to tirade off on you people. Speaking of the mentally ill, we have them all. I explain that to people all the time. Whatever percentage of any given community is mentally ill, you in your normal life, you'll encounter them every once in a while. But cops and us, we encounter all of them daily. 11:12 on all mentally ill radio, 560 WQAM.
Bell Films present Size Does Matter. It is said football is a game of inches. It is what sets men apart on the gridiron, the locker room, and most important, the living room. For it has been said, the size of the screen is proportionate to the size of the fan. What will satisfy your insatiable thirst for helmet-to-helmet action? Not a tiny 22-inch Trinitron, but rather 108 inches of throbbing plasma screen pleasure. And after your team thrusts into the end zone and you collapse on the couch, covered in clumps of onion dip, you too will admit, size does matter.
I was just thinking of Audis. That's what happens if I think of Audi belly buttons.
Yeah, because I looked up and you were kind of like shivering.
I shivered. I did
that look
shiver.
of like, you can feel the bile coming up and everything.
You might want to say, why on earth were you thinking of Audis?
Yeah, why?
Okay, well, there's a little domino effect here. I just got an email from roller skating Heather down here at the roller rink. You met her, right?
Yeah.
And as you know, by the way, she's a cutie, and we know I was talking about the belly dancing, watching a beautiful woman move beautifully, like belly dancing or roller skating. I could watch Heather skate all day long, all night long. That's what I do when I rest, is you watch the people that skate well, and you go, ooh, look at that, wow, look what that guy can do. But then I always go back to Heather. Thank you for wearing white pants as often as you do, because, black lights, white pants makes it easier to spot her in the crowd. And she was wearing kind of a high-cut shirt thing yesterday, kind of a knit top thing, little flash of belly button going there. And I was thinking about that because she looks, you remember I told the story in the beginning of how, I had to approach her and say, you look just like this chick that I knew that was my first girlfriend in Montana, taught me almost everything I know about roller skating, the original roller girl in my life. Not the last, but the first. And you look just like her. Same face, same body, they skate in very similar fashion and everything, same haircut. And her name was Heather, and so is this girl's name. But the big difference, the major difference, is that Montana Heather had an outie belly button. And that's when I shivered. It was when I was thinking that you saw me shiver, because I get kind of wiggity whack about Allie.
Yeah, and they are just kind of,
It's like a fleshy eyeball. It just, there I go again. Wow. I can't even picture them. God bless you. With all due, there's a surgery. You can have it corrected. I know. You're shallow. You're so shallow. Listen, I'm sorry. Everybody's got their thing, right? That's something that freaks me out. Noses affect me. If it's a nice nose, I'm all hers. And if it's an ugly nose, there's nothing. It doesn't matter what else she's got going on. Nothing she can do to make me want to look that way. I can't even have them inside my field of vision. If they have a really nasty jacked up nose, I gotta kind of look away. And what's worse than that? An outie belly button. Just, I'm sorry. Blanket apology, all the women out there with outies. God bless you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't handle it. I had to, I dated her like 3 times, on and off. And that was always an issue. It's like, she'd wear a 2-piece. We'd go to the lake and she'd wear a 2-piece. Heather! Wear a 1-piece, Heather, please, I'm begging you. Wear the Annette Funicello belly button covering thing, but roller skating Heather down here, she's just beautiful and she moves beautifully, and she's not gonna screech at me for saying that. But then she's not an uptight, in need of psychotherapy, wearing a 10-foot electric butt plug up her butt belly dancing bitch. She's a roller girl.
Maybe they do need those electric sponges.
That would seriously, and that comment was made last night because we were sitting and signing. As a matter of fact, there were 2 sign language interpreters there at the rink, and hopefully they'll keep showing up. Hey, how you doing out there, Dina and Brenda? And Oedipus is learning some sign language now too. He's finally coming around after spending a great deal of time making fun of me in the first place. Now, he's on the wagon, which is good. And we're sitting there and I'm telling them the belly dance story. And I'm telling Brenda because look at the contrast. First of all, outside of the National Organization for Women Themselves, I can't think of a more militant group of women that I know than the Derby Girls. Here's a very feminist type of group. At no point did any of them raise so much as an eyebrow over my shtick and sexually harassing them on the
They were loving it.
Of course, they have a sense of humor. They're human freaking beings. Lynn and Elisa came the first time, and we had them do impact grunts. Could you recreate some of the impact grunts? And so I had them grunting on the air, and they were all laughing it up. We laughed it up. I posed a picture with Lynn and Nikki, and it was Lynn's idea, by the way. I want Nikki's boyfriend to understand that it was Lynn's idea for taking a picture with me, kind of holding. I wasn't like really grabbing their asses, but my hands were kind of on there. It was Lynn's idea, Nikki's boyfriend, who's a really nice guy. We had that pizza loft party. Mm-hmm. Everybody introduced me to their men. The Derby Girls introduced me to their respective men, those who had men. And, I felt a little bit of a cold shoulder from some of them. Not all the guys, but it was like, that's you, huh? Oh, you're that guy. That guy that hits on my girl on the radio.
They're a little,
so maybe they weren't, down with the program.
They're a little intimidated, George.
No, I don't think that's it.
Yeah, you're a big name.
Yeah,
you're a celebrity.
You're gonna get me beat up. They weren't intimidated at all. They just thought, who the hell is this little punk and where does he get off? I should kick the crap out of him outside. Hey, you might want to kick the crap out of me outside, but some of the Derby Girls will come to my aid.
They'll
come to my defense. They will. They know how to do it. I'm seriously thinking about doing the ref thing. There are two things.
All right, look, here's what you got to do.
What's that?
Before you say yes, sit down with the Derby Girls, especially the ones that you're good friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Say, look, and say, look, there's going to be a time when I make a call against you, can you still love me?
Right.
When it's all done and over, can we still give hugs?
I'm going to get that in writing. Just one form, and then they can all sign it. It's
exactly.
I'm not going to get mad at you for making a call against me. And the other problem that I have, and you're going to laugh, you're going to think that I'm making this up.
You don't want to wear a helmet?
No, I'll wear a helmet. This is funnier than that. I'm kind of scared of girls. You've heard the term P-whipped, right? I'm pre-whipped. I'm already pre-whipped. When it comes to women, I'm scared. I'm scared of their anger. I'm scared of disappointing them. Just ask my wife. QAM, hello.
George, man, how you doing?
Yo, how you doing?
Doing all right. Hey, just two quick things, if you don't mind.
I
saw Legend last night. Didn't like the movie so much. Will Smith, pretty awesome acting job.
I saw it. There was nothing wrong with his performance. It was just a boring movie.
Yeah, his acting.
It was flat. His acting was fine. It was just a flat movie. It had none of the charm that Omega Man had.
Yeah. Exactly. But one other thing, if you don't mind, sir.
I don't.
Hey,
Sir.
Sorry, man. What is the name of those Michelin tires, man? Can you say that on there?
What are you talking about? You crank Neil with this. What are you talking about, Michelin tires? Is that it? Click. Let me give you
any idea?
Let me give you a lesson in Crank 101. Somebody should know what the hell you're talking about. What's the name of those Michelin tires? Last time, when he cranked Neil with that, he said, what's the name of those Goodyear tires? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
There it is. Maybe he's another one like Oedipus and Boca Brian. Have I explained them to you before? Other people might have people like this in your life. It's a strange phenomenon. I've only ever met those two people. I don't know if there's a name for it. Maybe we'll come up with a name for this kind of a personality. They like telling jokes that are only funny to them. And they do it all the time.
And they wonder why you didn't laugh?
They do it with other people. Like, we'll be at a restaurant, and they'll crack some line that's inside that only they themselves will get, and possibly you also. But they'll crack that line to the waitress. Okay?
And
the waitress will just stand there blinking.
Huh? What?
Not understanding anything that was just said, while you're trying to get a food order from someone who you hope isn't going to spit on it or otherwise do something that you saw in the movie Waiting, and more on that later. Because we're going to talk about one of those phenomenons from the movie Waiting.
See, now I knew
like that. Oedipus does that all the time. Jokes that are only funny to you. That not only are they only going to be funny to you, but the result is to get everyone else pissed off or otherwise wondering if you're a crazy person. By the way, the answer to that question in both cases is yes, they're crazy people.
See, I know Boca's a little off his rocker. He's a little different.
And by a little, I mean a lot.
Yeah, but I didn't think Oedipus was in that same
Oedipus is a double-edged sword. He has no sense of the appropriate, and that can be very beneficial. He has no embarrassment factor or no sense of appropriateness whatsoever, which is great because if you want to, like if you're like a real timid little mouse like me, afraid to send soup back at a restaurant, afraid to, take something back to the store or something like that, Oedipus will do that. Afraid to complain to someone, no matter how bad you're getting the shaft over here. That's what Oedipus is for. He has no embarrassment factor, no fear. He doesn't know what fear is. No fear factor at all about anything. Hey, how you doing there, Brian? Yes, fix my car. Charge me more money. Over here. Yonder go the keys. You know what to do. I'm on the air. Brian from Auto Express. If you're lazy, call him up. He'll come over to where you're at and fix your car. Thank you. Look, I got a stack of cards over here.
All right.
No problem. Thank you. I don't know for what. Man has yet to give
me paying for his
freaking discount. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I'm putting his whole family through college, but that's all right. It's better than doing the other thing, man. It's better than doing the alternative. Auto Express. If your car is broken, you don't know what the hell's wrong with it, and you don't want to take it into a garage, call Brian. He'll come to where you're at and fix it for you. 954-336-5965. He still ain't going to give me no discount. 1127 on 560 WQAM.
And reportedly spent the new year in Italy. She was seen by paparazzi making out with 3 different Italian men, 2 actors, and a busboy.
Parting more than the sea, visiting Italy, she's a Jorge. Little Jorge. Eating cheese, drinking hooch, finding strange men to smooch, she's a Jorge. Total Jorge. Handsome guys looked into her eyes, nibbled on her thighs, and did things so unholy. Stuff your mommy never did. Sexy Lindsay Low acted like a hoe, sucking some guy's toe and eating 3 cannoli. Euphemism. Actors and a busboy felt the ultimate joy from the Jorge. Not posada. Sucking face, flicking ears, touching Italian rear. She went nuts. Never said no, not once. Ushered in the new year, using all of her gear, skipping foreplay. Skipping foreplay. What an awesome display, an Italian buffet. What a
28 till 12, 560 WQAM. Wife sends me a story. I guess it reminded her of how we met.
Okay.
Warsaw. A Polish man got the shock of his life when he visited a brothel and spotted his wife among the establishment's employees. Polish tabloid, get that joke, get that tie in there? I'll tell you that, hold on. I'll tell you at the end. Polish tabloid Super Express said the woman had been making some extra money on the side while telling her husband she worked in a store in a nearby town. I was dumbfounded. I thought I was dreaming, the husband told the newspaper Wednesday. The couple, married 14 years, are now divorcing, the newspaper reported. See...
Why are you divorcing?
Why? You have one more thing in common than you thought you did. You like whores? Your wife's a whore? It's magic. See, it's very similar to how I met the wife. I saw this woman walking down the street. I stopped to talk to her. I said, "What's your bag, baby?" And she said, "I have sex for drugs." And I said, "What a coincidence. I ply women with drugs to have sex with me." And the rest was hist. When you say, we heard, the Carpenter's wedding song starts in it, that those people didn't see it the way that we did. 567-0560 in Dayton, Broward, 877-785-6345 is the toll-free number everywhere else. Pound 560 is free if you have AT&T or Verizon Wireless. So speaking of the movie Waiting, which everyone should see, it's a funny movie. It's got the guy from the Apple commercials in it. I don't know his name. It's got one of my favorite unsung character actors of all time, underappreciated character actors of all time, Luis Guzman, who I watch in everything that he's in just because he always cracks me up.
Hispanic dude?
Yeah, right? ugly gorilla face mother.
He is good.
Anyway, yeah, but he's good and he's funny. And have you ever seen Carlito's Way? They've been showing that a lot lately. Yeah. I'm watching it every time it's on just because, what's her name? Penelope something or other?
Cruz?
Penelope Ann Miller or something like that. She's topless. It's kind of like Scarface light because once again Al Pacino tries to do a Spanish accent. which is just hysterical. He could try to say anything in a Spanish accent. It's wrong. It's like Scarface. It's like Tony Montana all over again. He can't do a Spanish accent to save his life. And for some reason, they keep putting him in movies where he pretends to be a spick. You know what else is funny? Viggo Mortensen doing a Spanish accent in Carlito's Way. Trying to be a spick. It's a ridiculous movie. However, it's cute and it's funny. It's got grit. It's got stuff in it. It's got one of my favorite characters in the movie is Benny Blanco from the Bronx, played by what's his name, John Leguizamo. Benny Blanco from the Bronx, who's a punk in that movie, and that's the role that he's playing. But Luis Guzman is in that, and he was in Waiting. And that's my tangent. All Luis Guzman movies all day.
Now, do you like Leguizamo?
Yeah, he's great.
I think he was probably about the only good thing that was in the Spawn movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, he's just
highly
disappointed.
He shows up. The thing about John Leguizamo, it doesn't matter what's going on around him in a movie. He shows up to work.
All adrenaline,
he brings it. He
electricity,
brings it. He doesn't care if the rest of the movie is reeking all around him. He's oblivious. He shows up. So he's great. You saw Carlito's Way, didn't you?
Seen it, yeah. It's been a while, but yeah.
Okay, it's campy, good fun. It's hysterical. It's high comedy. But he's in Waiting also, Luis Guzman, and he's hysterical in that movie. And one of the things that they do, why are all the lines like that?
Now, should I ask, does he play dishwasher?
I don't know. I don't remember. He's a restaurant guy. I think he's a waiter. But they play this game. They play a variant of the Made You Look, where they call it the scrotum showing game, where they go to different lengths to get other coworkers to look at their own scrotum, and they have various delivery systems. Have you not seen the movie?
No, I haven't.
Well, then I think I have a pirated copy at home I'll bring for you. It's a very funny movie. Hagen used to dog me every day. Have you seen Waiting yet? Because he used to be a waiter.
Yeah.
And so it was near and dear to his heart. Have you seen Waiting yet? Have you seen Waiting yet? Have you seen Waiting yet? You gotta see Waiting, you gotta see Waiting, you gotta see Waiting. And I'm glad it was funny. So they have this thing in the movie, they call it the scrotum showing game. You make the other guy see your scrotum, and then, I don't know what the you lose at that point. If I get you to look at my scrotum, you lose. That's the game. And it's a variation, because from the time that you're little kids, there are and have been Made You Look games.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And they're regional in nature, and they're also time-based, like the kind of Made You Look games that we played when we were kids. They don't exist anymore, but now there are new variants of the Made You Look games. And so what I need to know is, what's the current one in the schools right now? QAM, hello.
George,
mm-hmm.
you were telling that story about your wife and how you met her and everything.
Right, yeah.
Only there was one error in it. When you asked her what she didn't do, she said work.
That's right. You're right. And she also doesn't do other women, which makes her less than perfect.
True.
Yeah, that's sad. If she did, she wouldn't have to work.
So
I would wait on her hand and foot if she was bisexual.
Missed the beginning of the show. What happened to Neil?
He has the flu. QAM, hello.
George.
Yep.
Hey, I'm giving you the goat right now.
The goat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know your little scrotum game from Waiting? That's the grand prize if somebody sees you doing a goat.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm giving you the Phantom.
That one or the frog. The frog isn't bad.
No, my MySpace mood right now is Froggy. All right.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. QAM. See? You got to see it so you can get that. Hello.
How you doing today, man?
How you doing?
Oh, you're talking about jokes that people don't get?
Yes.
What was that bit that you started it with? I've heard you play it before, the girl singing the Bible books.
Oh, what are you talking about? That's for real.
Well, what is it?
It's the New Testament. It's the books of the New Testament in order.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, I think it's adorable, don't you? It's a Sunday school song, and I had a chick sing it, and Boca Brian put it to music.
Okay.
I think it's hysterical. I think it's wonderful. I can't get enough of it.
Okay. Well, I think that one guy is talking about these are tires called Falcon tires, and the guy says it kind of funny, so you can kind of curve it into another word if you want.
Okay. I don't know if that's right, but...
Just your Tire Kingdom spot, actually.
Okay. All right.
And the guy on the radio...
All right, I'll take your word. I'll keep an ear out for it, and I'm going to hang up before you say it any closer. QAM, hello.
What are you doing? You can't mix Mexican with Intercontinental.
What? QAM, hello.
George.
Yeah.
Hey, first thing, the part of what I thought made the Waiting game so funny is that you got to remember, you got to make fun of them for being a fag after
that's the whole thing. See, and I'm glad that you brought that up because, all right, in North Carolina, we had a game called 10, and this was in middle school. The teenagers in Blowing Rock, North Carolina had a Made You Look game, and it was called 10, and here's how it worked. You make another guy look at your crotch, okay? At that point, he's gay, all right? But here's the implication. When the guy is looking at your crotch, you answer the question that he's thinking in his mind, which is, how big is it? And so you answer the question that he isn't asking, but you know he's asking it in his mind. And so you say 10, or you hold up 10 fingers. In other words, hey, faggot, you're looking at my crotch. You want to know how big it is? It's 10 inches. And that just becomes condensed down to 10. So you get somebody to look down. You go, oh, my God, I just spilled coffee. And you point at your crotch, and the guy looks at it, and you go 10, and then you win. And he's a fag. So yes, so that's what it is. That's the payoff, is you call the other guy a fag for looking at your scrotum, right?
What we had was you make the OK sign with your hand,
yes.
The circle with it,
and if you look at it, you punch them.
Exactly.
Right.
If they put their finger through it, they punch you.
All right. Grade school in southwest Florida here, Redland Elementary, Leisure City, Homestead. I think it was started by black girls, I'm not sure, but it caught on to everyone, and it was called Eyeball. Everyone my age, in the Redlands and in Homestead and Leisure City, you remember Eyeball? And we all said it in Blackanese because I think the black girls started it and we were copying them. And you make somebody look at something. It could be anything. You make them look, and then you say Eyeball. Or you want to be really slick and cool when they look back at you, after they look in that direction and see nothing and look back at you, you're just pulling your eye down. You know, you're just pulling your lower eyelid down, and that's the same as Eyeball. That's the same as holding up 10 fingers. So I've been playing Eyeball at home with the family, and they don't get it. Well, I'm not going to play the scrotum playing game. Not with my daughters. My daughters.
It all sounds fun. George, I got to go. Take it easy, man.
Eyeball. 18 till 12 on All Major Look Radio, 560 WQAM.
Love tatas? Want to see a huge selection of tatas? Then come on down to Porky Tatas. Hello, I'm Rajdeesh Porky, owner of Porky Tatas, New Delhi's #1 Tata dealer. Right now I'm standing between two beautiful Tatas, and you can get your hands on them during our massive Tata event. We've got black Tatas, white Tatas, big Tatas, little Tatas. We even have Tatas in leather. Each one comes with 2 cup holders. And take a look at those headlights. And with prices this low, these beautiful Tatas will be bouncing right out the door. I'm Rajdeesh Porky, and my motto is, they're not nice Tatas unless they're Porky Tatas.
Oh, is that it? 13 till 12, 560 WQAM. Got an idea here. Mismatched couples. That could be a poll we could take someday. By the way, have you noticed I haven't even referred to the one today? Yeah. And I thought it's not like something that's slipped my mind this time.
You're purposely saying
obviously, Neil didn't, he was feeling bad. He was already starting to succumb to the symptoms of the flu yesterday when he put this poll up there. I don't think that we have ever done a more boring poll. Ever,
really?
Ever.
Than this current one?
You tell me which poll, since you've been with the show, have we ever done that's been this, are you kidding me? How interested are you in the 2008 presidential race? I just can't believe you asked me that. Very, 539. Somewhat, 155, that's what I said. Somewhat, but not as interested as, like 24-hour coverage on the news saying the same thing over and over again as if it were this radio station. A little bit, 60, not at all, 58. What me worry, 36 out of 848. We might make a number. I don't care. We might make I don't care. I don't care how many people vote on that thing. What's it got to do with these phone lines are dead? What's it got to do with nobody has the answer to my question about the Major Look game? Now, there is a modern game, because I asked teen daughter, hey, is there anything like that going on right now? Because different places and different times, there's always a Major Look game of some sort going on everywhere at every given point in time. It just changes. And so there is one going on right now. Do you know about the game?
No, I don't.
All right, well, now that you know about the game, you are playing the game.
Oh.
That's one of the rules of the game.
Okay.
All right? You win the game by not playing the game or thinking about the game. If you're not playing it or thinking about it, you're winning. But if you think about the game, you've lost, and you have to start over. Not playing and not thinking about it. Upon looking at my notes, my show notes this morning, to get ready to do the show, I looked down and I got, a little line here, Major Look game, eyeball, 10, and the game. Upon reading that, I lost the game. So I made sure to send my daughter an email reminding her that she has also just now lost the game. And she writes back, damn you. You see how that works?
Okay.
That's the game that her age group right now is playing. She's 19, and they've been doing that for, I don't know how long, a year or so. That's the internet game that's going on right now. Apparently there are rules posted somewhere. If you Google the game, I have not done this, but I understand that if you Google the game, you will find rules. Those rules there that I just explained to you, maybe the same way, maybe differently, but there are also people set game traps for each other. Like there'll be this link to something else. Hey, go over here for free naked pictures or something like that. And when you click on it, you go there, it's a banner that says you've just lost the game.
I like the movie The Game a little better, I think.
Which one? Has there only been one?
Was it the only one I can think of is Michael Douglas?
Okay, yeah. That was a fun game, I think. Well, fun game to watch somebody else play.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about that. It's not fun to watch other people play games. There are some notable exceptions. Attractive women playing games. Like roller derby or...
American Gladiators?
American Gladiators, beach volleyball. I don't know who's winning,
See,
who's
beach
losing,
volleyball,
I'm not following it, who don't care.
It's not, I mean, I can watch it for a couple...
Too tall? Too ropey? Too wiry?
Too skinny, yes.
There are some, but see, I don't mind, I don't like the, steroid pump bodybuilding.
Oh, no, not at all.
But the nice washboard abs and tone.
But when I'm watching...
Women, and I like tall.
And it's, see, I don't have no problem with tall. Obviously, I know you like tall. I have no problem with tall either. I don't have a problem with being too skinny, but like, when they look like they should be gymnasts, where there's like, really nothing in front.
Okay, I understand that. So you're
I'm a butt man.
I like variety.
You know.
I think the volleyball chicks are great. But I would watch games that I don't want to participate in. Like, for example, the Gladiators. I'm talking about the real ones, not the American Gladiators. There's a game to watch.
And not participate in?
And if you are going to consider a game important, because I was talking earlier about, you shouldn't think about it like it's not fun if you take it seriously. Well, obviously, if you're fighting with a sword for your life, you're probably going to take it seriously. You should. I would advise you to take it seriously because you might die. So that's a little bit, that's higher stakes. And you don't want to participate in a gladiator fight because you might die, but hell, I'll watch one. I think that's what they should do with prisoners, that and medical experiments for the prisoners. Gladiator combat.
Like a running man type thing?
Yeah, like that. I had that idea a long time ago. Well, obviously, I didn't have that idea. The Romans did. That's what, the condemned, they put them to death in a variety of ways in the arena. People don't know. It wasn't like you just didn't become a gladiator. You weren't just some condemned dude and become a gladiator. If you were condemned to death, they killed you in all kinds of weird and obnoxious ways. They fed you to animals, or sometimes they would just have soldiers come out. The warm-up act in the gladiator days, in the arena days, is the condemned people would just be lined up and hacked up. That was the warm-up act. They would just hack people up to get you, to get you in the mood for the bloodshed. And then they would have a little bit, they would get more and more creative as the day went on. 5670560 in Dayton, Broward. Pound 560 is free if you have AT&T wireless or Verizon wireless. Outside of Dayton, Broward, you can call for free at 877-785-6345. QAM, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, George, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Great. I was wondering, you ever played any of the Grand Theft Auto video games?
I have not, but my daughter has them. I know Josh Cordes is big into it. I don't play those console games. I don't play PlayStation games anymore. I can't play with my thumbs. I got no thumbs. I got no thumb action.
I see. But, if you ever get around to, like, watching your
I'm all aware of it. I've sat with people while they played it, lots. I know what it's all about. I know, you can do anything to anybody, which is great.
Well, that's not the part I'm really amazed about with you. There's, like, radio disc jockeys on that show, there's, like, different radio channels or whatever.
On that show?
I mean, on that video game. I think you would be perfect for one of those radio shows on that game. You have, like, the perfect tone of voice and all that.
Oh, you're sweet. I had no idea. No, so, like, when you're in your car, you can tune the radio to different radio shows? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. There's like, different characters they can do. There's, like, talk shows, like, there's a guy that does, like, heavy metal music, rap music. But you'd be perfect for one of those talk shows. I would love to hear you on one of those games.
Great.
You'd be perfect for it. Trust me. Check it out sometime.
All right.
Thanks, George.
Thanks a lot. Sorry, I'm laughing at email messages I'm getting. QAM, hello.
George?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, I want to say that I'm actually really enjoying your talk show now.
Oh, you're sweet.
Beginning I thought you kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Now you're doing a lot better.
Hey, what are you good at that you were good at the first time you did it?
Oh, nothing.
All right, then.
But a couple of things really quick. One, when I was at the Pizza Loft, actually I missed the opportunity that you guys had on a Thursday with the Derby Girls, so hopefully that went really well.
Yeah, it was fun.
You know, I wanted to go really bad because there's this gentleman, an older gentleman at work today, he's a big Ohio State Buckeye fan, and I went there last year. I guess they played the Gators for the championship, and he went totally ballistic nuts on me. I really wanted to go back and see if he was going to go crazy on me again because they lost to LSU.
I don't know. Like, he went nuts how? I don't understand.
Well, I went there just to, like, get lunch there. And I saw him with an Ohio State T-shirt. I'm not a fan of either of those teams. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, I heard it's going to be a pretty good game or something. And he looked and he just went right in my face with his finger. He goes, you guys suck! You guys
I hope he was an actual alumnus, except as opposed to somebody who attached himself to him.
He was telling me everything I had was I'm a loser and all this. And the people in the restaurant are looking at him like, well, relax. Maybe he just wants that's his team. I go, it's not. I just wanted to tell him open to your game. He just went totally crazy on me.
All right.
It was just funny about that. So,
okay.
You know what? We want to have a great show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks a lot. We'll go there. What does that have to do with me? QAM, hello.
Afternoon, George.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Well, it will be soon.
That's right.
Whatever. Don't worry about it. We don't grade you on time here on this show.
Thinking about those Major League games, I remember when I was in high school, and we were in high school practically at the same time. There was a game that we used to call Psych. Where you
Psych.
You just say outlandish things. Oh my God! Look, there's a deer
ridiculous
waiting.
things. Yeah, ridiculous things. People go, really?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Psych.
Yeah, Psych.
Same thing. Like
I remember the eyeball game, but Psych is what me and my friends used to play.
You do remember eyeball?
Of course.
Oh, thank God! There's one more eyeball.
Pull down your lower lid.
Oh.
Eyeball.
Oh yes, my life is complete now. My wife, you don't understand, my wife and daughter are both looking at me like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You had to be making that up. I'm like, I'm deadly serious. Tell me, it was the black girls that invented that, right?
Oh, I don't know.
It had to be, because eyeball.
My friends went to Killian High School, and Killian High School was a little dark complected, so it could be that that's where they picked it up from.
Oh, I remember eyeball, man. That comes back. I'm doing that now. I'm going to do that to Chris. Eyeball Chris. All right, take it easy. Listen, be thankful that I'm only going to play the eyeball game with you instead of the scrotum showing game with you.
I think I remember playing eyeball in high school.
Really? In high school?
I remember that
All right,
whole...
well, wait, I'm an old man, so you might, I don't know how that works.
I don't know. But it
seems
when
I
you
got
were
that backwards.
talking about
I got that backwards.
Yeah, and maybe junior high, I don't remember what it was.
Eyeball.
I kind of remember that, yeah.
You'd sit there at the cafeteria, and you would just look off somewhere, and you go, "Oh my God, what is that?" And everybody looked, and when they looked back, you'd have your lid pulled down. Eyeball the out of you.
Now I don't think we ever said
eyeball to you all.
We would just say eyeball, like that. And then of course Psych always played that.
Oh no, we'd say it in 100 different ways. Of course, you get tired of saying eyeball, so you just go eyeball, or you just pull your lid down. You just point to your eye, eyeball.
We tried to play something like that the other day, but
we did.
Well, kinda, yeah.
Where?
D's.
Oh, D's, yeah, well, that's a different one. 2 till 12 on all D's Radio, 560 WQAM.
It's WQAM, the happy sound.
I'm a dumb celebrity, got arrested, drunk and loud. Now my face is in the tabloids, I'm in deep and there's no doubt. My career's in danger, they repeat what I blurt out. And now I gotta say I'm sorry and repent for my big mouth. And that's why I go on TV and apologize. On TV. Apologize, I'm Larry King. I go on TV to apologize. Don't hate me. I cry on TV to apologize. I cry on TV to apologize.
I'm not. 1204, 560 WQAM. We got the Jack Show coming up next at 2 o'clock. There's only one thing wrong with it. At no point is he going to say anything that I'm ever want to hear. You know, off the air,
See, I don't know about that.
Joe Rose,
He might drop some stuff on
off the air. See, but I would need a promo to tell me that.
Yeah.
I would need somebody to call me up and say, coming up next, Jax is going to talk about philandering. And I would stop whatever I'm doing and tune in because I know he's got a lot to say on the subject. We could do a 2-person show about that and really, really set the world on fire. Like we do in the halls. And the same thing with Joe Rose and all these other people that I've worked with over years. These are people with rich, full lives that have a lot of stories, a lot of really interesting, exciting stories to tell. Not just about things that they have done, but things that they're currently engaged in doing. Will set your hair on fire. And then they got on the air and talk about some game some other dude played that they saw.
See, if we were on satellite, we could bring Steph and Jax in here.
Steph and Jax. What a great name for a show or a rock band.
And
like, remember
we could talk about
Steppenwolf?
Oh, of course. But we could talk about the Dolphins post games.
Okay.
And what would go on during and during commercials, but even during the show.
It defies logic. It defies logic. Like, I'm probably going to play Elephant Gun here in a while just because there's no chance that anybody's going to hear it other than that. Because here we are in a market, the 11th largest radio market in the world, and nobody wants to put on anything else. You know what I mean by anything else? Anything different. Yeah. They all want to put on the same thing and lose. It's like somebody here's a place coughing up blood, so Joel Feinberg goes and copies it. This is the kind of madness that we're talking about over here. I can't relate to it. You think you understand how business is done.
Well, he did say he knows nothing about radio, so.
But I thought that he was a rich guy. Rich people are supposed to know about business and money and do math.
Dad is rich.
Oh, well, okay. You're supposed to be able to do math. It's all about math. Business is all about math. You buy something for X and you sell it for X plus 1. Repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Well, see, I think when your parents are rich and you're just,
I guess. I don't know.
All you know is about spending.
Ill. I guess. Well, we can all do that. Just ask my wife. That doesn't require any skill. But I'm going to play this because there's not going to be any other alternative. But in the meantime, it's like that. Here it is. All right, let's say, hypothetically speaking, a bunch of guys are interested in games other men play. And so they watch it. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, instead of putting on a radio show where we're going to talk about some things that everybody wasn't already present for, we're going to talk about something that everybody already knows. The logic of that escapes me. I will never understand it if I live to be 1,000. We're all at the same event, either in person or we all saw it on TV. And so now we're going to recant what everyone already saw. And this is a product. But what's better than that? We're going to pre-cant. We're not going to recant what we already saw. We're going to pre-cant. We're going to talk about something that we might see someday and create all of these fictitious possible scenarios and talk about what if. We're going to spend all day talking about what if this guy played on this team and the wind was blowing from the north and the temperature was 78 and the moon is in Uranus and the moon is in the 7th house. Wouldn't that be a great game? How do you think it would turn out? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
How do you think they're going to do next year? Well, all that depends if they draft this guy, and if this guy's injury heals, and if this and this, and it's all if radio. If this, then that. If this, then that. This is whatever is way beneath mental masturbation, because there's nothing mental going on there. But it must feel good, because I would say a lot of people do it. Well, we don't have a lot of people in this corner of the building. But those are the only people that think that that's exciting. It boggles my mind. These are people like Joe Rose, Jason Jackson, Jim Manich. These are people with material that you'll never hear on the air. You'll hear it in the bathroom when me and Joe were sitting next to each other, having a sound off in the halls during one of their 27-minute breaks, standing over here waiting for the commercial break to end. You'll hear the great material that they have to offer off the air. It's bank. It's money. This is good material that they have. We love it. I love it. And then the mic light comes on at no point, and that's the filter, the material filter. From this point forward, don't say anything anyone's going to want to hear. Don't say any of that interesting stuff that you've got to talk about. Stop right now and just talk about, tell people stuff they already know now for a long time. And take your time doing it and do it over and over again.
Now, the one person who gets close to that would probably be Joe. Because he'll just kind of, I don't know if you listen to him much, he'll kind of go off and just start talking about anything and everything. You know, his life, his wife, how he screws up, all these different things. So he doesn't just keep it sports. So, you know, I kind of give it to him.
Once again,
so.
if I knew when that was going to happen, but see, I'm not gonna pan for
spontaneous,
gold. I'm not gonna sift through. It's a traffic hazard. I will drive into a telephone pole if I actually try to focus my mind on what they're saying. Meh, 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 meh. How do you think this guy's gonna? Meh, meh. Oh, I will drive into a ditch. Seriously, it's beyond me. But hey, 2 o'clock today, the Jack Show, 2 to 4, guaranteed.
So something more important.
What? Jim Mandich at 4. We got Miami Dolphins All Access at 7 and 9. John Linders 9 to 10. Did I meet him? I think I met him.
Yeah, you met him. Tall dude.
Yeah. Tall. Nice guy. Won't be talking about anything anybody's going to want to hear. ESPN Radio Primetime with Chris Mortensen from 10 to 12. At 12, we got ESPN Radio. And then we got the Troy Aikman Show from 1 to 2, which is weird. Whatever. ESPN Radio. It's going to sound like somebody stuck a microphone inside a beehive. What?
I guess 2 breaks ago we came back with Lindsay Lohan. And I'm thinking, between now, I mean, I don't know about you, I don't know who was a big time when you were, growing up. But, Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears. Mm-hmm. 2 people who, when they first came on the scene, well, I can't say Lindsay because she was a kid. Mm-hmm. She hit 18, 19. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Right. And in the last year and a half, 2 of them went from
fried
some of the most beautiful women to, some of the most scary looking.
Hard partying.
And it's like, why?
Hard partying.
Why,
Takes its toll.
Yeah, it's just...
There's a pace. You pay a price for that kind of stuff. Chemicals take their toll, especially alcohol, which, and cigarettes. Those will age your face. Those will, you've seen the people with the noses, with the gin blossoms and everything. That's what alcohol does, and that and cigarettes will age these women. You've seen these barflies at the bar.
Yeah, but it's
these
like
women, it's like, how old are you? It looks like somebody stuck an old lady head on their body, and you can see the redness that fade in from their neck as you get higher up in the face. The redness gets deeper and around their nose and their ears and under their eyes, and they got the red rimmed eyes and they got the wrinkled lips. QAM, hello.
George.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I couldn't be better, as a matter of fact.
Good.
Something you said at the beginning of the show got my attention. You were talking about excuses to not do something or not to go to work or whatever.
Yeah, Friday. F off Friday. Everybody's effing off today. Excuses for not coming back from lunch.
Yeah, anything like that.
Sure.
Well, back in the
Neil's
day,
excuse today was the flu, and it was actually a real excuse this time.
yeah, okay, I believe that. But back in when I was in sales back in the 70s and 80s, customers would be calling up like, "Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff?" And we would just lie like a rug, and say, "Well, the thing happened and this went wrong," and they would believe it.
Right.
They would believe anything you told them.
Sure.
And one time there was actually literally on the news a humongous train wreck up in Georgia somewhere, and we had like $1 million worth of product on it to be shipped to Dade County.
Mm-hmm.
And we told them the train wrecked and everything was destroyed. No one would believe it.
Right.
It was on the news.
That's how it is in radio. It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter if it's a truth or a lie. Nobody believes it. Nobody believes any. No, really. We'll tell the God's honest truth on the air, and then I'll go do an appearance, and then people come up and say, "Oh, okay, what's the real story?" It's like, no, man, I told you the real story.
People, they love to believe a lie, but they won't believe the truth.
It's bizarre, and I've known people like that. Like, you can tell them the most serious thing and not funny, and the most believable thing too. Nothing outlandish, and they won't believe it. But you can tell them, "Hey, a flying saucer ate my baby," and they'll send you a sympathy card.
Yeah. You're right. You're right on the money.
All right.
So keep up the good work.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, look at that. QAM, hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm not your friend, and I was great until you called. Drug addict, drunk, speaking of gin blossoms. That's why he called up. Mr. Gin Blossom himself. 12:13 on 560 WQAM.
As a member of an NFL championship team and as a business owner, take it from me, the Mad Dog, being part of a team is of utmost importance. I'd like to tell you about the winning team at Labor Finders. Labor Finders is the preeminent supplier of temporary labor. Whether you need help for one day or for longer, Labor Finders has dependable workers for construction, light industrial, warehousing, hospitality, and much more. Call Labor Finders at 800-864-7749 or visit laborfinders.com.
Hey, this is Joe Roseborough.
I'm feeling good.
And you can tell him if and when he decides to take a walk on the sports side, then and only then will we consider making an extension offer for even less than the last time. You got that, Joe? And another thing, I don't want that George inviting any more women into the studio. The place smells like Mott Street in July. Come in.
Hi, Clarence.
Joe.
My thighs are cold. I need you to place your hands between my legs.
Okay.
Joel, why does everybody think I'm gay?
I don't know. Maybe it's a sports thing.
But sports is manly. It's macho. It garners acceptance by men who think likewise.
I don't follow what you mean.
No, I don't either. And I don't care. All I know is it's not easy dismantling a radio station.
Well, once you're done, I'll take you to my place in California where you can sashay around in your thigh-highs and dolphin jersey.
Hey, everybody, look at me. Look at me. I'm a program director. Whee!
Sports.
1218, 560 WQAM. Viggo Mortensen's Argentinian?
Say what?
We're talking about Carlito's Way, Viggo Mortensen playing a spick, doing a really, really bad accent. You know, my Spanish accent is really bad. It's like a mental block or something. I can do other accents way better than I can do a Spanish accent. I sound just bad, although not as bad as Al Pacino. I'm trying to think of anyone's Spanish accent being. He is so off, so far from, and he's a great actor. I mean, a phenomenal actor. Top 5 on my list, Al Pacino. A in the pocket, always there. Always a top-notch performance. For the most part, Godfather 3 was a little bit cornball, but nobody was taking that movie seriously except Andy Garcia. He showed up for work in that movie. Too bad it didn't help. It didn't help the movie at all. But he does the worst Spanish accent. He's in there. I gotta get a recording so that of that line in Scarface where he's in the club dancing and hitting on Michelle Pfeiffer. Remember that? And I think he's trying to say, "What's your name?" with a Spanish accent. And he says, "What's your home?" So, or something like that. "What's your home?" And I went, "Huh?" And I saw that in the theater when I was in Montana, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's Miami, right? That's Miami." Everybody's like, that and Miami Vice, everybody thought that was Miami. I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, that's Miami. It's boring. You don't want to leave the house. It's hot outside." All the women are prigs or whores, either one. Or in some cases, both. I was like, "What's your home?" It's like, what the hell is that? Who talks like that? And what made the movie worse or better or more funny, Scarface I'm talking about, is he's walking around with Stephen Bauer, Rocky Echeverria.
That's his name. I was trying to remember his name.
A real Cuban a Juban, right off the island, with the Cuban Spanish accent that we all know and most of you hate. He's got it down. And he's speaking the Spanglish just like a kid. It's like, there it is. And I'm telling people, that guy there, not Tony Montana, that guy there, that's a Cuban. That's what they look like. That's what they sound like. That's what they act like. Right there. There he is. That guy there, not acting. That's it. That's all of them. There they are. I'm not a good example, but there is one. Right there. So it was like you've got this contrast. Every time Tony Montana opened his mouth, it was like this glaring reminder of how not even close he was to sounding like anything Spanish. And see, I don't think Al Pacino could even do an Italian accent. Somebody that speaks Italian really well, because he was speaking in a little bit of Italian in The Godfather. Somebody, that's good at Italian, that's good with all the nuances, should call and let me know. Was that good? Was he speaking Italian well or what? QAM, hello. Hello.
Hey, George.
Hey, what?
Hey, I want to get me a vibrating sponge, and I never found out how to get it.
I'll find out. You got to keep listening because I got a card or something over here that Jeanette left. I just have to dig it up. It is the coolest thing in the world. See, what makes it cool is it's a sponge and it's got a waterproof vibrator that goes inside of it, right? And that very speed vibrator there, it's not like the size, well, it's about maybe 6 inches long, but it's the most powerful vibrating device that I've ever held in my hand that wasn't plugged into a wall and bolted to a floor.
I got somebody in mind to give it to.
Yeah, all right.
So,
listen, they'll like it, trust me. They will like it. Keep listening. I'll put something on there. She's got a MySpace site, but she's not one of my top friends because, my top friends, that's, you gotta justify being one of my top friends on MySpace. But I'll get it. She gave me a card or something. The chick's name is Jeanette, and I got her website somewhere. Hey, Jeanette, call in. Hey, Medina, Jeanette, one of you ladies should call in. I want to talk about the whole, belly dance gate and the fallout as a result of the show. But keep listening. I'll hook you up.
All right, thanks a lot, George.
All right, bye. What?
Bellygate?
Bellygate. QAM, hello.
Yeah. Pretty easy to get.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, I know. You're a stalker, you're a mental case, you're an alcoholic, and you're a janitor, and you're proud of all those things. Hey, whatever. You stalk. You're a guy that stalks guys. So I might add something else to that list also, right?
How long before he was in the room with the other two?
You're a fag. Oh, he might be now. There's a club, in case you don't know.
Did not know.
I was explaining him to Chris during the break. Not the first chronic, but certainly the chronic award. I know you aspire, so you win. You're the most chronic caller ever in the history of this show. And so you might want to join the party. There are two retarded faggot stalkers that call the show every day. You might want to sit in the room and join the oil party. They put a shower curtain on the floor and they slide around and slather oil on each other's fat, naked bodies. QAM, hello, while they listen to our voices. Hello.
It's okay, man. Another quaalude in the morning.
You wake up with a quaalude. You can't have a baby because your womb is so polluted. And so you might want to join the party. Oh, well, come on now. We're just talking about repeating the same thing over and over again. He wanted to hear his own voice. Well, go nuts. He'll hear your own voice. Did you wake up with a quaalude? Hello.
Hey, man.
All Quaalude Radio, WQAM AM.
Is this me?
It's you?
Woo! Hey, I'm curious, I hear you talking about the sponge and stuff, and I'm not sure. If I gave that to someone, am I telling them that, hey, you just don't clean it up down there?
No, it's a novel. It's comedy. First of all, don't give this to some uptight prig. You got to give this to somebody that's got a sense of humor. It's not for that. See, the device comes out. It's for all right. Like they have those for real. Let's get our minds out of the gutter for just a second because I hate it out of the gutter. All right. They have those giant massagers on a stick that you can massage your own back with.
Sure.
Right? And they have a variety of things that you can take into the shower, like that you pour the liquid soap into and you wash yourself with it.
Yeah.
It's like that, but this thing vibrates so strongly that it'll actually exfoliate you. There is a real non-prurient practical application for this thing.
Okay,
and if you want to use it for something else, nobody's going to stop you there either. But then think about it. What can't you use for that? You could use the vacuum cleaner. You could use the washer, the dryer, the pop-up toaster. The pop-up toaster.
You're not using my vacuum cleaner. I'll tell you that,
all right.
Man. I mean, I hardly use the damn thing, and I sure wouldn't want to share it with a friend of mine. But
No. My vacuum cleaner is monogamous. Hello. Hello.
Hey, George, it's Jeanette.
Hey, Jeanette, thank you so much for calling. I'm serious. First of all, Gina, I'm sorry for creating a schism in the belly dance group. Well, not really.
Well, don't be sorry at all. That was not your fault at all. You did nothing.
Did you hear me talking? We got the Broward County Derby Girls. They've been on the show twice. I shtick it up with them exactly the same way. Half of them are militant lesbians. None of them ever said, "Oh, you're not taking our sport seriously. Oh, we're not here for you to hit on or call us hot or anything like that." Oh my God! Seriously, Dr. Phil needs to make a house call to some people. They need some mental help.
Oh, they really
They were making things up. I was raping people practically. Josh Cordes. Oh my God.
I know, it's totally ridiculous, but I'll tell you, I mean, it's a group of, people who are very jealous, malicious, and they're very hypocrite, because I could tell you things about each one about them.
I know, they were very hypocritical. It's like, excuse me, please forgive me for considering you attractive. Good God.
I know, right?
May I cut my penis off in a public ceremony and set fire to it. Good God. You know who doesn't, who speaking of jealousy, there are a lot of people, male, female, and in between, and myself included, who would love to hear people say, "Hey, that guy's hot." I'd give anything to hear somebody say, "Hey, a friend of mine saw you. She thinks you're hot." The rest of us who aren't can only fantasize that someone would ever call us hot. To hear some bitch complaining that somebody regarded her as, one day she won't be hot, and she'll pine for the days that people saw her and thought, "Oh, that's hot."
Well, I'll tell you, one of them who says that she's all offended about saying that you called, us hot on smoking, actually did an ad for a cigar company with a cigar while in her belly dance costume. Okay, so it's like, okay, can I call you hot and smoking now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, why are people throwing stones when they live in a glass
hypocrisy of it
house,
all. And as you know, my wife's been into belly dancing for years. She dances. She has actually danced, performed for money. She has substitute taught classes. I've gone to all the freaking Broward meetups. I've gone to several shows, including the belly dance superstars. I know what it's all about. I know it's not stripping and everything like that. And I was really offended that anyone would think that I was implying anything of the sort.
No, it's just people who like to twist things.
Apparently.
And look, even one of them who's complaining, she just went to get a breast implants.
Yeah.
It's like, why is she making herself more sexual?
You know, it's like these women that say, I'm not doing this for men, I'm doing this for myself. It's like, oh, so you're just going to stay home. You're going to put makeup on and dress up and stay home. You're just doing it for yourself, right? Oh, the hypocrisy. In the meantime, those sponges are great, and people want to know how. I know you have a website, and I have your card. I filed it away in my briefcase, and I can't turn around. So why don't you just tell people about it? First of all, you know, you gave me a pear. You know, it's shaped like a pear, but there's all kinds of, you know, lemons, strawberries, heart-shaped pineapple, and everything. And you don't have to be a pervert to enjoy this sponge.
Right. That could really be an item for any, you know, it doesn't have to be a sexual item, really.
Right.
You know?
It really is a good shower exfoliating device.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you are a pervert, then you're going to enjoy it on a whole other level as well. But again, what can't you do that with? You know, I've got a little Gator football Go Gator squeeze toy right now. I could think of something to do with this that people might not approve of.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's another story. So why don't you go ahead and give your website on how people can get these vibrating sponges? Because the selling point for me is these things vibrate like nothing I've ever held in my hand ever. And I do have one of those plug it into the wall back massagers, and the sponge kicks its ass.
Well, my website is afterglowimports.com, and unfortunately I do not have it set up yet to, like, you know, purchase and that whole thing. Like, some people have even accused me of going out of my way to get on the radio so that I would get...
Oh, gee, that would be bad. I saw some of the comments, man. You were getting shredded. Medina was getting shredded. My wife jumped to my defense. She got shredded. Damn! This is a rough crowd. And you know what's funny about this? My wife told me, it's like, hey, you don't want to mix with the belly dancing crowd. That's a rough crowd. And I'm like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She was serious.
Yeah, it was this specific crowd because, look, one of the girls who wrote in there that how dare I bring one of those sponges as a raffle item, which, you know, you look at...
It wasn't a raffle item. It was my Secret Santa present. And thank you.
I know, but you're welcome. I actually did give two for raffle, and, you know, one of those people who are saying, how could you bring that around children or whatever, when you see that it's just a normal sponge, nobody knows that it has a vibrator inside or anything.
Right.
However, if you look at her profile, she has a picture of her own daughter all laying down, dressed as a little belly dancer with see-through skirts and stuff like that. It's like, if we took my sponge to a church and her daughter's picture, which one do you think people would consider bad?
Right, exactly. The hypocrisy really astounds me. Really, and you can't have a group. I've just never been a part of a group where there wasn't at least one and possibly more people getting into it who just exist to have problems.
I know. And one of the persons who started the whole thing actually had a stalker. The only time we've had a problem with a stalker in our site was for one of the people who started this whole thing, who's been accused of having internet sex and accused of, you know, having
not that there's anything wrong with that, but hey, you know, don't judge.
Having an affair online and everything. And then also she was accused of doing massage therapy without a license, you know, and we helped her out.
I didn't even know that you needed a license.
So and that's one of the persons in there complaining. So
listen,
it's just incredible.
I've hung in my life. My stepbrothers were bikers, not members of a club, but they hung out with people who were, and I got to go along sometimes because it was a very white trash existence. I've hung out with real life bikers, real life gangsters, real life mobsters, real life hardcore convicts. I've hung out with, you know, my upbringing was very seedy and white trash. I've hung out with really, really rough, tough, convicted, scarred, tattooed, callous-knuckled, gun-wielding, knife-toting, drug-crazed maniacs. I have never, ever, ever been subjected to the kind of shred job or the kind of hate and seen the kind of venom exchanged as I have in the wake of what I thought was a fun party and a fun time. And at no point did I say anything negative about the performances or any of the people, you know, and the shtick about the male dancers. They were great. They were phenomenal. They were phenomenal dancers. But let's just be honest. If you've never seen that before, you can be taken aback. And I would have been very dishonest if I had represented that any other way. And you know, and I try to be funny about it. And, you know, sorry, I'm Reed. He's an awesome dancer. Maybe he can teach me some moves. But I'm sorry. You know, it's not something that you see every day. And you do a little bit of a double take. A normal guy will do a little bit of a double take when he sees a guy dressed like that, dancing like that. It's not something that you encounter every day. But they were great. They were awesome. They were spectacular. So there. Anyway, we're real late for the break, Jeanette. Thank you. AfterglowImports.com?
Yeah, afterglowimports.com.
And they can just email you there, and you'll hook them up?
Yeah, email me, and then I'll hook it up, and I'm planning to maybe just open like a store on eBay or something like that later. So
all right.
thank you so much.
All the great items. No, thank you.
Come back to our group, George.
I
I'm
will.
really
Look,
upset
listen,
you've left us.
the wife is in both of the groups, and I'm her guest at all the events anyway, so.
Okay.
All right, I tag along.
You.
Bye, Jeanette. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Say hi to Medina. 27 till 1, 560 WQAM.
It's time for the Dolphins Winner's Circle with Jennifer Jason Jackson Lee.
Hey, this is Jennifer Jason Jackson Lee for today's Dolphins Winner Circle. I'm here with John Beck. So, tell me, John, how can you describe the loss of last week's game?
I was surrounded by big men, and I couldn't throw the ball. If I wasn't surrounded by big men, I could throw the ball really far, but I was surrounded by big men.
Well, listen, you're the former Super Bowl champs. You think they have a chance?
Well, if not for the big men, and, it would have been a big help if your program director wasn't stealing all our jock straps. Next season, you think you can keep that pervert out of our locker room? I know he must like the big men.
Well, that concludes today's Dolphins Winner's Circle. I'm the Jason Jackson Lee.
22 till 1 on 560 QAM. Want to do some sports talk real quick?
No,
some game. Some people played some game. Everybody who was interested in it saw it. So now I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff that you already know because you were watching it. But
what if you missed
it? Or I won't. Or we can have a conversation about something else that maybe we don't already know about, or we can share ideas, or, hey, and this is a pipe dream and a fantasy. We could come up with some, original material. QAM, hello.
Hello.
QAM, hello.
You fairy.
You are. And that was that. 5670560 in Dayton Broward. Pound 560 is free outside of Dayton Broward if you dial 877-785-6345. Did I say that? Pound 560 is free for AT&T and Verizon wireless users. I'm glad, I'm going to forget this. Jeanette needs to send me a card for the old. Seriously, they're a trip.
Yes.
Just make sure that the recipient is, if it isn't your wife, make sure she has a sense of humor. If she is your wife, she probably needs it. Speaking of the wife, I get a spy report. One of the guys that she's cheating on me with calls me from my bedroom and says that there's a big manhunt going on right nearby our house. That none of the local stations have it on, by the way. In between, 26th and Dixie on Sheridan, there's a massive manhunt going on. I understand. I just got a spy report. Helicopters and cars and things like that. So if you're in that area and you wonder what the hell's going on, you might want to stay away from that area. Unless you're one of these people that likes to make things worse. Like rubberneckers. Over the holidays, since I had to do a lot of driving around, going to this party and that family function, whatever, it was an all-time record for rubberneckers. At least one, sometimes several rubbernecking events caused me to be late for where I was going. And again, speaking of things that I don't understand, we can add that to the list. People who want to discuss things that you were already present for, everyone was there at, that I don't understand. The other thing I don't understand is what these people are hoping to see. A head, a human body, a limb hanging on the side of the road.
Yeah, of course.
Go rent Faces of Death. Go, they have those places. They have snuff films. I'm sure on the internet you can find real or fake snuff films, things like that. You don't have to make me late for what I'm going and everybody else, and they're all doing it. They're all slowing down and taking a look, hoping to see some blood, hoping to see some guts, hoping to see a head.
See, it's bad enough when it's on your side of the street.
Yeah, no, it's on the other people on the other side.
It's come on, just go.
I would, and I mean this honestly. If I could, in a world where, if I had omnipotent powers, I would kill every one of those people for slowing down What kind of ghouls are you? You nauseate me. You disgust me. I'm sickened by the existence of you people. I'm embarrassed to be on the same road with you people. I don't want to know any of you people. If you've ever slowed down to take a look at an accident on the other side of the road somewhere, you're a foul, filthy, disgusting piece of filth that I don't want to sit at the same table at, be in the same room with. I don't want to shake your hand. I don't want to touch you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know your name. You're the worst kind of human in the world. You sicken me. All you rubberneckers. You sicken me like nothing else does. I don't understand you, and I never will, and I don't want to. QAM, hello.
Hello, how you doing?
How are you?
You asked for somebody who spoke Italian fluently?
Yeah, so it's really good at it, that understood, the nuance. I want to know, did Michael Corleone speak good Italian, or what?
He spoke, yes, the Italian from the island.
I understand. Yeah, because he grew up in America, so I don't expect his Italian to be perfect. But I mean, how close was it?
I'm a Cuban. It's funny because I'm a Cuban Italian. My father's Cuban.
How do you like that?
Perfectly, and
okay.
I speak Italian fluently.
So you probably got a real kick out of Scarface.
Absolutely,
Damn,
I got a kick out of that.
Way off. It was a comedy.
It was a comedy. That was nowhere near.
No.
A Cuban accent.
I sat in the theater, my jaw was agape the whole thing, and I was laughing, and I was the only one. My friends were like, because you remember when it came out in the 80s, everybody, oh, this is very gritty. And I'm in the theater just all by myself laughing. I said, that is so funny. It sounds like somebody making fun of a Spanish accent and doing a bad job of it.
Parody, right, exactly. They were making fun of it.
Right.
Like when he said, what's your name? What's your name?
What's your name? What's your ha? What's your ha? Like, what? What? And I had just got done, spending time down here.
He did a better job as Michael Corleone.
All right.
In the Italian that he did with Tony in Scarface. That was, unbelievable.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Should I take this other call? Even though we're late for the break, why not? We can do whatever the hell we want, right? QAM.
Hey, George.
Hey, what?
Hey, two quick things. Just got back from West Jefferson and bought a house up there.
All right.
Yeah, 3-2 cabin for like $150.
What? Whereabouts?
It's like 5 miles out of West Jefferson. I don't know.
Which direction by the compass?
I don't know. You know where 221 is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so West Jefferson to 221, whatever that is. If that's south, then it's
No, I know exactly where you are.
Then it's west.
All right.
Anyway,
I'll see you there. I'll see you on the river.
And the only thing worse about sports talk is like when it's a 2-hour show and the next show starts, it's like the same thing again.
Of course. Listen, it's the same set of callers making their same non-point.
Without Mandich, sports talk is boring. That's
all right.
The only guy I can handle just for the personality. Take
yeah,
it easy,
and he does have one. Take it several. 16 till 1, 560 WQAM. Ten till 1, 560 QAM. So, wife and I had an argument yesterday that we've had before, and this time it spilled over into the living room. We had to have the teen daughter mediate because we have our own gender's perspective, and because of the way, I try to get her to look at things from men's perspective, and I do. No, you don't, because she believes in the double standard. She believes that women should have equal rights, but still men should pay for everything and open all the doors and change all the tires, and you know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't have it both ways. Either you're equal and equal work and equal rights, or you understand favoritism, and we open doors and go to wars and things like that. Pick one. pick one, and I'll march in whatever parade you want me to march in to see to. But you can't have it both ways. You can't be treated like the fairer sex and then say that you're equal. And so this conversation stemmed out of we saw the Valtrex commercial once again, which cracks me up to no end. And Saturday Night Live did a sketch about it. Did you ever see their sketch?
Probably.
You've seen the Valtrex commercial. It's for herpes.
Oh, yeah.
I have herpes, but my partner doesn't. So I take Valtrex because
Mhm.
you can't be too careful. This and that. And then they have the disclaimer always you say for sex and this and that. And during the disclaimer I say, or you could just not have sex with someone who has herpes. You could just opt out.
Mhm.
And the wife says, well, when should the woman tell the man that? And we've had this conversation before, and it was about something else. I forget what it was. Like, and I forget what might have been like this woman who lost a lot of weight that was on Oprah. We had this conversation. She had a lot of loose skin, and it's not apparent, or something else. I forget what it was that started the argument the first time, but again, it was about something that isn't obvious, that the bottom line is it makes you someone that other people aren't going to want to have sex with.
Mhm.
You're not going to want to have a physical relationship with that person. They don't have a vagina. It's missing in action. The aliens stole it. Something. I've had a double mastectomy, and these are just, this is a padded bra. Something. And the wife said, when should the woman tell the guy that? First date, second date, third date? I said, immediately. And she said, and this is, you might disagree with this, but she said, what do you mean immediately? I mean like this. Hey, honey, can I buy you a drink? I have herpes. Like that. It should be like that. What do you think? And again, the double standard comes in because it's not the woman offering to buy the guy a drink. If it were, or if it were the woman paying for dates, we would have a different conversation. But it's not. It's always the guy offers to, this is how it's done. I didn't, I was born into this world. I didn't invent the rules of it. I just, I got the same rule book handed to me like everybody else. When you're in a social setting, a bar, a club, or something like that, it is the man's job to break the ice. Just stop me right now. Tell me where I'm wrong. Because if I'm wrong, and if I got the wrong rule book, please give me the right one. But I thought that's the way it's supposed to be. If you're at the high school dance, guy walks up to girl, asks girl to dance. That's how it's supposed to be. Oh, no! Women are going to call up, and I hope they do. Oh, no, I ask guys to dance all the time. That's fine, but according to the rule book that I was given, it's supposed to be the guy. That doesn't mean that it's wrong if you do. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. It's just... And from experience, the chick's going to sit there, the girls are going to sit there, and it's the guy's job to offer a drink, offer to dance. You go up to, this is how we did it when I was going to, whether it was here in Montana, you go and you ask the girl to dance. Hey, would you like to dance? The guy's job has to make move one, and sometimes that involves offering to buy the woman a drink. What did she say? And she starts bringing, she argues like Neil, she brings other things into it. What if the guy just sends a drink over? I said, I didn't say that. Guy sends a drink over, you don't send it back, or you say, thank you very much, but I'm not interested. Whatever, you want to drink this? I said, may I buy you a drink? I have herpes. May I buy you a drink? I don't have a vagina. It should be like that. Because and it's like this, it's the same thing. If you take a drink from a guy that you know and if you know that guy doesn't have a chance, you're a thief. You're not a whore. A whore gives something.
You're a bitch.
You're beyond a bitch. You're a thief. You're a con artist. You're taking advantage of someone. And let's just say, oh, he just wants to get laid. He deserves to be taken advantage of. It's like, no. Everybody who's in a meaningful relationship right now, at one point or another, somebody had to make a pitch. Don't give me that. This is how the mating game is played. Don't give me that. Right? Everybody who's in a loving, wonderful relationship right now, it started with someone making an overture first.
Correct.
Right? Don't reduce us to these rutting beasts, even if we are. Sometimes we have sincere intentions over here. And you see somebody that's attractive, and you want to break the ice, and so you offer them a drink. And if they take that drink, and either A, you as a woman, you know that you have, the guy is not, like, let's say you. Let's use you as an example, because you're fat and ugly. Not that you're not a nice guy. You offer a woman a drink, she takes a look at you and says, like, no way, Tubby, no way is there any chance that you'll get anywhere with me, but I'll let you buy me some drinks. That's a thief. That's a con artist. That's someone taking advantage of you. Not a whore. Much, much worse than a whore. I said worse than Hitler, and the wife goes, worse than Hitler? I said, that's a figure of speech, honey. Of course they're not worse than Hitler. Although, they're up there. So we get into this big old argument about, you know, the one. So it's acceptable for a woman to let the guy go, take her out on date 1, date 2, and then on third date after having spent a lot of his time and a lot of his money. Then she's going to tell him that, by the way, I'm something that you're not ever going to want to be with because fill in the blank. And my wife, who has a complete gender-based double standard, thinks that's all fine. That's all cool. To take advantage of a guy for a date or 2 or maybe even 3 and tell him on the third date. So we had this big argument and we had to go get teen daughter to mediate.
And what she come up with?
She came up with, you two need to go back into the bedroom and stop bothering me. I'm trying to get another level of Guitar Hero going over here. She's over in the middle of a Guitar Hero session or something like that. Didn't want to be bothered. Otherwise didn't want to be bothered. It's like, you two and your silly nonsense need to take your asses back into that bedroom. Yeah, that's what teen daughter said. So you know, I would like to know if I'm wrong. Well, I know I'm not wrong, but if you want to argue, you know, that's what the show's for. We can argue about that after a while. But it's bad. It's like it's taking advantage. You know that person isn't buying you a drink. Like you don't offer to buy a guy at the bar a drink that you want to chum up with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unless you're a fag. You know, and sometimes your friend, like, it's your birthday, hey Chris, I'll take you out for a drink. That's funny. Right? If it's somebody's birthday, or sometimes, you know, like,
but you don't do it to a stranger.
With your friends, like, you want to be cool, you'll pick up the tab and things like that. That's different. We're not talking that. And also among men, he'll reciprocate at some point, and you know he will.
Correct.
If your friend doesn't, he's a scutch, and he's not going to be your friend for very long. We don't even want to get into that. But a man doesn't offer to buy a woman a drink or a dinner or take her out for a date unless he's attracted to her, and obviously his ultimate goal is something physical. And so you're stealing. If you know he doesn't have a chance, or if you know that you've got leprosy or something, it doesn't matter what it is, something that he's going to go,
I hear the washer running.
Well, you're nice and all, but, you know, I wish I'd have known this because, damn, those other 2 dinners were kind of expensive, and I could have been out with somebody else. I could have been putting time in towards a relationship with somebody else who doesn't have leprosy. You see? So that's the argument that we had just yesterday, as a matter of fact. So, you know, maybe some women out there think that I'm full of crap and want to take her side. That's fine. Be happy to entertain those kinds of calls. 2 till 1 on All Sponge Radio, 560 WQAM.
560 WQAM. The in South, from the in town, Miami, number 1 under the sun.
Ricky, 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 Ricky.
Everybody talk about Ricky, 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 Ricky. Ricky's on the microscopic sport holes, but they don't know nothing about radio. They can try to make some money, but no, they're too busy helping sport. Sport holes. Ricky, 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 Ricky. What was that noise?
Oh, let me take a look at the security monitor.
Anything to do with sports?
No, just a lot of buildings burning and carnage. My car's okay, though.
Oh, go back to the phone.
Ricky, 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 Ricky. Ricky, 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 Ricky.
104-560 WQAM 5670560 in Dayton, Broward. Outside of Dayton, Broward, you can call toll free by dialing 877-785-6345, and pound 560 is free for mobile phone users if you're lucky enough to have AT&T or Verizon. How many fingers did you just hold up there? You know, there's a comment line.
Thrace.
You know, you can write comments in the lines too. QAM, hello. Hello.
Hey, George.
Hey, Medina.
It's Medina.
I heard Chris from the other room. We had the door open between us. You know, his face lit up, which it never, ever does. He's the saddest man on the planet. He just sits in there with his face melting into his hands all during the show, but it actually lit up when you called.
Oh,
yeah, how about that?
That's funny.
It is funny.
Oh,
so you heard Jeanette call, right?
Oh, man, we got slammed, didn't we?
Oh.
Talk about a case of making something out of nothing.
I cried. I told her, I really, and I already, that's the same thing that I wrote in that email. I have hung out with some really serious people I've hung out with people who've killed people. And they were the sweetest, nicest human beings you ever met in your life.
But just know that that's just part of the group that has now been separated. They've actually gone off. And I tell
people that were at the group. You know, my friend Oedipus, who was we don't use his real name. We don't use anybody's real names on the air. At least nobody that I know. I said, we created a schism. You know, the party and the show and the subsequent and the fallout and everything. The group splintered because of that, and this huge fight erupted and everything. And that nobody could believe it.
Well, what happened was I found out that they actually our actual organizers, some of them, went and started a new group.
Yeah.
And here I have people that are
good luck to them. The green persimmon sucking prig group.
Yeah. Now you can actually decide which group you want to go to.
Right. There's a group with a sense of humor and a group without. One group that wants to be looked at, and the other group that they're like Frank Booth from Blue Velvet. Did you ever see Blue Velvet?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, they're like that. It's like, how dare you look at me? Hey, I'm gyrating and my midriff is bare and I'm gyrating over here and I'm waving a red veil, but don't look, don't think I'm attractive. I put on makeup. Don't you dare think I'm attractive. How dare you, you man?
Well, their main thing was that they thought that we went on the, like we're belly dancers selling sponges, but they were two totally separate things.
I know. Listen, people with an IQ of 3 that have only listened to the show for 5 minutes weren't confused by that. These people were obviously looking for a problem to have.
Yeah. I think they wanted to go on the show, too.
The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Would have been happy to have them on here and everything. You know, the Derby Girls, they've been on twice. I talked about them a lot. These are some very women's lib, these are very, very feminist women, very strong, independent women, and a lot of them are lesbians with no need for a man. As you know, none of them ever said anything or never got the joke, ever had a problem with me making the girls do, reproduce the impact grunts on the air and leching on them. They all got it. They all knew it was shtick. Roller derby girls, these are like some hard-hitting bitches over here. They thought it was all funny and cool. But no, the veil dancing, and my wife warned me and said, you don't want to mix with these belly dancers. That's a rough crowd. And I laughed at her. I'm like, yeah, the belly dancers, they dance with veils. What are they going to do? They're going to bring me to tears. That's what they're going to do. They're mean. You're mean to each other. They were mean to, they ripped you, they ripped Jeanette, they ripped my wife, they ripped everybody. They were making things up. They painted me out to be a rapist.
Oh, terrible, terrible.
Josh was throwing women and raping them in the middle of the floor. ISIS, I was all over ISIS to hear these women talk, and ISIS is, she's one of my good friends now.
And I noticed that she's actually posted nice things on your MySpace. If anyone was going to be mad, it should be ISIS,
and I told her, if I was paying a above average level of attention to anyone, it was you, ISIS. And she said at no point at the party or on the show did you do or say anything that I had a problem with. And we're buddies. We've traded messages back and forth. She feels bad that I was trashed as much as I was on the forum there.
Yeah,
so she's a sweetheart.
Well, in the end, everything seemed to work out fine.
It's all good material. You had a nice purge there. The likes of Stalin. You jettisoned some chaff from the group over there. They could start their own lemon sucking group.
Yeah,
and take it all seriously. Just because you learn an art and a skill, that doesn't make you the spokesperson for the seriousness of it. It's an art. If you perform, we all get to say something about it. That's how it works.
Right.
And the wife pointed out, God forbid that you should post a video of yourself dancing on there. These women will shred you. They will just shred you and reduce you to tears. It's like that's what a lot of these women exist to do, is just to rip everybody else and what they're doing. And the notion, like you and Jeanette and the other organizers, that party and the parties, because I've been to other meetups before, you obviously put a lot of work and spend a lot of time and go to a lot of detail with the vendors and the food and the performances and the choreography.
George, you have no idea. I mean, I have to deal also with the venues. You have to deal with the staff there.
You're on the phone all the time and everything. You know, I was skating last night and I've been carrying that CD of pictures in my bag for weeks. I keep forgetting to give it to Kathy at Galaxy. Please forgive me.
Okay.
But yeah, the meetups, the parties are these really grand and detailed events with all kinds of things, a secret Santa, an auction, all these things that you guys do, and instead of people thanking you for it, this is what you get. Apology.
I sometimes wonder, why do I do this? I could be putting all this energy into my business, but no.
Wow. And you know what? It wasn't like Jeanette gave me that sponge to promote her business. It just happened to be a hit. It really did literally and figuratively tickle my fancy. I thought it was the most hysterical thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I talked about it over the course of the show. Everybody that came into the studio was thrilled by it. Everyone tried to steal it. Lynn eventually did. You know, I had to get a replacement.
Let's do the disclaimer here.
Yeah.
The belly dancers are not
belly dancers aren't strippers
sponges.
or sponges. You know, one has nothing to do with the other, and you have to be a moron to think otherwise. This was something that arose. This all grew and spiraled because I got a Christmas present from someone who happens to be a belly dancer that I thought was really, really cool, and I went on and on about it on the air.
Exactly.
So that's all.
Exactly.
But I don't think I listen, because while that was going on, I was talking to people that I know, friends that listen and everything, and nobody was confused. And you know what? I don't think the bitch that we both know who I'm talking about, I don't think she was confused either. She was just looking to have a problem.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were just waiting to nab us on something so they could start their own group. But the funny thing is, anybody can start their own group. Go ahead.
Yeah.
See all the work that goes into it.
Meetup.com/55. Is that it?
That's our group.
Yeah, and it's a good group, and it's even better now.
Meetup group.
They sawed off a gangrenous leg, and now they're great.
Yes, yes.
Well, I really had a good time. You'll see me at the meetups. I have a problem with groups in general, but my wife is still a member of both the Dade and the Broward groups, and I'm still going to be showing up at all of the events, at all the concerts, all the shows, whether they're at the high school auditorium or the Belly Dance Superstars. We go to all of them.
Great. Please don't stop.
I won't. You know. I can't read those forums anymore, man. That's not good for my psyche.
Oh, I know. Well, it's
I got enough to cry about. I got enough to cry about in my life already without getting shredded by the fair veil dancing women, you know?
It's 2008, and we're on with positive things, and
you bet.
No more bickering. So.
No more.
No more.
All right.
Okay, George.
Thanks for calling in, sweetie.
All right.
Bye-bye. Medina, Miami Belly Dance Meetup Group, meetup.com/55. They're a nice group, especially now. 113 on 560 WQAM.
30, man.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. This is Section 8 flight for Ebonics Airways. Please check your ticket at this time to make sure you're on board the right aircraft. As you is taking your seat today, we would like you to pay attention up here to the front for a minute. I am your head hostess, Shirley Q. Liquor. How you doing? Also assist me in the cabin today is Shamika, Danita, Laquita, Bonita, and Miss Rhonda. And we don't know what sexual orientation Miss Rhonda is or what her gender is, but you could ask her when she be seated. Today's flight is on a McDonnell Boeing MD-4040 aircraft. It is a double-deck whisper jet, honey. If we run into any problem on the aircraft today, our captain is Reverend Cleotis Jefferson, who is also pastor of Macadamia Jubilation Congregation. And he is assisted today by Deacon Earl Clovis, and we want to welcome him into the spirit of the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, it have come to our attention that we have a celebrity on today's flight. Let's give it up and put your hands together for the complex multi-talents of Miss LaToya Jackson, who is flying first class with us today. I would like to point out that regulations do require that all firearms be securely stowed for the duration of the flight today to New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, we as your cabin crew is pleased to serve you. Do not hesitate to ask for assistance. However, the stewardess do not appreciate if people are feeling up on their legs. In the event of a change of altitude, oxygen max will drop in front of your face. Please ask your child to remain seated at all times and apply their max after you have applied your own max. We ask at this time that you do not spill things on our carpet that it is not yet paid for. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to the back of the aircraft, you will notice it is a restroom for your convenience located in the back and one up here in the front. But the one in the front is for first class only, thank you. Please note that the blue water will not dissolve a hair weave. But if you are an older individual, and I notice we got some old people up in here today, how y'all doing? We ask that you please use discretion and do not attempt to flush a disposable undergarment. On Ebonics Airways, if you choose to smoke, that is of course your business, and the airline do not be responsible if the white folks on the ground finds out about it. The smoke detectors in the restroom has been disconnected for your convenience, but we still ask, please do not smoke clove up in here. Our flight time today is whenever we get there, we get there. At this time, please be seated and excuse me to this lady down here in row 13B. Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to remove your hat as it violates FBFA regulations, okay? One final reminder today, our aircraft is not a church. The combination of liquor and altitude is not the same as getting happy. And I want to announce that also we do not allow any loud talking up in here. We appreciate you flying with us today, and we ask that you sit back and fasten your seatbelt, and you know how to do that, so I ain't going to tell you. If you're that ignorant, you need to get off the plane. We hope you enjoy your flight today. Now sit down and shut up, and here we go.
121, 560 WQAM. There we go, a little by request. Not that I don't look for any excuse to play that at all whatsoever. No, yes, once again, I can't play games that are thumb dependent. My thumbs don't move the way that other people's do, or the way that I would like them to. I don't know how you do it. You people with the thumb games, with the PlayStation, and you fire and you do things with your thumbs. My thumbs move in slow motion. It takes I don't know. Listen, the stand-up games over there. Like Lee has in the room there, like Galaga, whatever, things like that, things with a joystick. I'm all over them, no problem. Foosball, air hockey, PC games where I can use my fingertips, but not my thumbs. And Guitar Hero is a thumb game. All right, DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, not a thumb game. I'm not bad at it. I would love to see you playing some Dance Dance Revolution.
I have never had any interest in that, so.
It's probably just as well.
I'll probably suck anyways, but it's just it's never been. It's one of those things that you would see, and it's like always like
everything that you do you suck at everything that you the first time that you do it. It's not that hard. I mean, they got some real easy beginning levels there. I'm up to the whatever. There's like embryonic level, whatever, like beginner, and then easy is above that. That's where I'm at. Easy. QAM, hello. Hello. I knew they wouldn't be hanging on. That's all right. 5670560 in Dayton, Broward. 877-785-6345 is toll free. It's also toll free if you have a cell phone with AT&T or Verizon Wireless. Pound 560 on that. We got the Jason Jackson Show coming up at 2 o'clock. Then Jim Manage at 4. Miami Dolphins All Access at 7. John Linder at 9. ESPN Radio Prime Time with Chris Mortensen. Why do I even bother reading it after that? QAM, hello.
Is this George?
No. It's not. You'll get him eventually. Yeah. He doesn't sound like anybody else. It sounds like a drunk who woke up in the gutter somewhere and he's using a payphone, and that's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. By the way, I just want to I know she's not listening, but if somebody, there's like that 6 degrees of separation thing. If somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows Debbie LaFave, would you please tell them to tell her that we're here for her. Some of us are here for her. Think that she got a bum rap in the first place.
That's the teacher,
She's in trouble. Yeah, the hot teacher.
Yeah, the blonde.
14-year-old.
For
making that 14-year-old kid the most popular guy in school, she went to jail. And, she is on parole, and she, Court TV just had a thing on there. The wife, I get hhome, she's watching all this court-related stuff. Wife watches Star Jones show now.
What?
Actually, yeah, I know. It's not. You know what? She's a completely different person on that show than she was on The View. I don't know what the deal is with that, but nevertheless, I get home and I told you it's this ongoing campaign to drive me nuts by putting the TV on things that I have a problem with, like Fox News. Well, she watches Greta Von Susteren. The wife watches courtroom stuff. She likes lawyer talk. She likes that. She should have been a lawyer, but that would have required work. So they're talking about the Debbie LaFave thing, Debbie LaBabe. And she had a conversation with a teenage girl, a 17-year-old girl. She had a conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. A couple weeks ago.
Trouble over that. Leave Debbie alone.
See, that's one of those things where there is that double standard.
Yeah.
Because if it's an older woman doing it to a younger guy, it's
we
like,
talked about that before.
go ahead.
We talked about it before. Neil, it drives Neil nuts. And we know why. It drives Neil nuts, and I explain it to him. I try to explain it to him, and he still doesn't want to accept it. Here's the reality of it. You can accept it or not. It doesn't matter if you accept reality. It's like bitching about the color of the sky. What are you going to do about it? I hate the color of the sky. And I say, it's blue. Here's the double standard. It exists, and here it is. Sex with men is gross and disgusting and icky. Sex with women, especially if they're attractive, is a wonderful thing. It's wonderful. It's like, it's the best thing in the world. What's better than that? Nothing. Men are gross. Okay? Women are beautiful. Okay? A woman can't make you worse. A beautiful woman can't do anything to you bad by having sex with you or touching you. But a man, all he's got to do is look at you, and that's already you're making me worse. Just looking at me and talking to me, it's making the scene bad. That's the double standard, Neil, and everybody else who doesn't understand the double standard. All right? Men, yucky. Women, great. That's why there's a double standard. What? I'm not confused by that. Are you?
No.
It's real simple. You have a guy having a male teacher having any kind of a relationship with a student, male or female. That's out. String him from the highest tree. That's a bad man. That's sick. That's disgusting. An attractive teacher having a physical relationship with one of her male students. You lucky bastard.
It's
like the South Park episode.
It's male.
Lucky bastard. I'm telling the white boy in middle school. I was 14 years old. The guy that Debbie LaBabe had the thing with was 14 years old. And when I was 14 years old, I was very interested in a couple of teachers. And so were me and my friends. Like, did you see Mrs. Erickson today? Yeah. She's wearing a skirt again? Oh, sweet. I'm going to get a middle seat. I'm so good to get a middle seat. And if she came around and sat on her desk to talk to us, everybody in the two middle rows would like lean in until our heads knocked against each other. Not like coconut heads against each other. We would all lean in to see if we could look up her skirt, and we would talk about her in the halls. It's like, oh, what's Miss Erickson wearing today? Oh my God, she's so smoking hot and everything. And if she had wanted to, she could have had us any way she wanted. Hot teachers, man. And so that's the double standard. If you're an attractive teacher, you can't. I mean, above what age? I'm trying to think back. Whatever. All right, middle school and up. All right, it's all good. As long as the teacher's hot. If she's an ugly old bag, then send her to jail. QAM, hello.
What's up, George?
How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, I'm into some of my kids' teachers. I don't know about you.
About what?
Some of my kids' teachers, man. It brings back some memories of what I like from the teachers I used to have.
Yeah.
But, hey, Guitar Hero, have you played it with the guitar itself or just with the controller?
Understand something. I don't play Guitar Hero. I don't play PlayStation games ever, except for the notable exception of Dance Dance Revolution, because I can play games with my feet. I can't play games with my thumbs.
Right. What I'm saying is, you know, Guitar. You realize Guitar Hero only isn't on the controller. They have that.
His problem is the strumming part.
The strumming part. If my thumb is involved, forget about it.
Hey, man, what about your index finger? Can't you make like a little...
I can do a lot of things with my index finger, but yeah.
Like the holding the joint, like the holding the joint, you know.
Not for me. Yeah. I just can't... I can do a lot with my thumb, but not video games is not one of them.
Gotcha.
Stick it up my butt.
That's unfortunate, man.
Where my left one is right now.
You just don't switch, man.
We used to play that game. You ever do that? You put one thumb in your mouth and one thumb up your butt and then switch?
And switch, yeah. It's like a penny, man.
That's not true. QAM, hello.
George, what's up?
What? Still drunk?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey. I can hear something in the background. I didn't know if it was me or not. I just wanted to say, you were talking about the eyeball thing earlier. I remember that. When
somebody sent in a fax saying that they used to play Mo. I don't know if that's a joke or what. They used to call it Mo.
I don't remember that one.
No.
Also, last
what was it, when you were over at the track doing the appearance?
Yes.
I'm the guy who gave you a gift.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, there were three of you, actually.
Yeah,
They
good
gave
stuff,
me gifts.
huh?
It was very good, yes. Got a lot of mileage out of that. Chicks love those things.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it, bro.
Thank you very much.
Later.
All right, I'll see you at the next one. That was very nice. 129 on All Gift Radio, 560 WQAM. Well, I hit the button, but the computer's going slow right now. Because I'm trying to find some other music. It'll start.
Over 5.9 million Americans are hooked. They need to have it every day. It's an epidemic. Your child may be doing it at this very moment. Evil is now red, green, yellow, blue, and orange. Your kids think it's harmless, and it must be okay, because everybody's doing it. It's not, but there is help. Introducing the Guitar Hero 1, 2, and 3 Rehabilitation Center. Here's patient 742879.
I couldn't get enough. I did it all. Spanish Castle Magic by Jimi Hendrix, Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. My entire life was all about opening up 5 new songs.
Guitar Hero is a highly addictive, interactive video game that puts your child in the middle of the debaucherous world of rock and roll, and the side effects are awful. Prolonged use of Guitar Hero 1, 2, or 3 can cause carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow, joint and neck pain, and diarrhea. Not sure where that came from, but it happens. Here's Counselor James St. James.
I was a backup guitar player for many years, man. I played in Foghat, Biohazard, Queensryche, and Tracy Chapman, and that was when I really needed the bread, man. Let me tell you what, man, Guitar Hero kills. Well, it doesn't really kill, but it's a bad game, man, because it's all about getting outside and smelling the roses in one night when you're playing the plastic guitar, man. You lose all sight of time and space, right? Plus, it's hard to be a functioning member of society when you're down in your basement with the night sweats thinking about opening up those 5 more songs. We change all that at the Guitar Hero Rehabilitation Center. We'll give you all the things to concentrate on, like fast cars, booze, pills, and women, you know, the normal stuff.
Guitar Hero Rehab. Guitar Hero Rehab. More addictive than crystal meth without turning your face into a toothless muppet. Guitar Hero Rehab. Sign up today.
Okay, 25 till, 2 on 560 QAM. I don't do those PlayStation console games except for Dance Dance Revolution. Who the hell's calling me? Peter Leonard calling me while I'm on the air?
Really?
I'm on the air, Peter Leonard. I'm doing the radio show today. Don't leave me. I hate voicemail. Send me an email. I hate voicemail.
Where's my certificate?
Send me an email. All right, send me a voicemail. All right, bye. Oh, Jesus H. Now I got to check my voicemail. What a pain in the ass that is. And you got to enter your PIN and wait for the lady to get,
You'll be okay.
I know.
What do you want?
I should just cancel it. What kind of question is that? What do I want?
No,
money? What did he want? He said he's going to leave a voicemail.
He was calling you to tell you he was leaving a voicemail?
Yeah, I asked him a question yesterday. I'm trying to, nail down a Honda dealer for somebody.
Oh, okay.
So, speaking of games that I am able to play, because I mentioned joystick games, one of my MySpace friends, and they have a site. We talked about it briefly in shows past, the old Commodore computers, remember them?
Yeah.
And it's the C64 Messiah is one of my MySpace friends, and we were chatting back and forth, and one of my favorite games on the old Commodores was a game called Mule. You remember it? It was kind of like a resource race. You and another guy have to colonize a planet, and whoever does it better wins, or something like that. And me and my friend Jamaican Me used to play that on his, because he was a normal person with normal money, and I was a pauper, and all the money that I had went into a sock so that I could escape this town. That's why I didn't wind up going to the prom. That's why, and there it goes ringing again. That's why Arlene Ortiz stopped talking to me. It's because I didn't ask her to the prom after she turned another guy down. I'm sorry, Arlene. She's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. I needed that money to get the hell out of this town. And then I wind up back here. But anyway, Mule, this ought to jog some memories if people don't remember. And I'm playing this off of YouTube. He sent me a good MP3 of it, but I can't find it right now. I think I'd have it home. I could. And I sent it to Boca Brian, and he's mad at everybody, so he didn't want to do anything with this. This would be a great show open. Come on, Brian. I'm actually looking at the opening of the game while I'm playing this, and it's really tripping me back. I think next time I eat mushrooms, I'm going to bring this video up.
The music seems familiar. Maybe I heard it in here. I don't know, but I don't remember the game itself.
I'm rocking out. All right. Oh yeah. I'm getting off on this right now. This is how the game started, and you and your friend sat there with a joystick, and you took turns colonizing these little plots, and you set your mule up, your multi-use land equipment, and it followed you around it like a robo-mule. You remember the Commodores, really cheesy graphics, a lot of boxy graphics, and then you would have to play a commodities market, go up and down, like auction against each other for things, and try to sell your stuff for the highest price, and it was
I don't remember.
Economics. It was strange. It was bizarre. It was a combination of economics and racing and stuff. These proto-computer games in days gone by. And this guy sent me the emulator, but I didn't around holiday time. I thought I was going to have time, but I didn't because the holidays. And there he goes. It just fades out like that. Love it. Mule. M-U-L-E. So I'm just, that reminded me of that, talking about Guitar Hero and things. If I am going to play a game, it's got to have a joystick, it's got to be a stand-up console thing, or I have to be able to press it with fingertips, or I'm not going to be able to manage it. QAM, hello.
Jorge.
D-May.
Hey, on Guitar Hero, I've only played it once with a friend of mine, but if you have the guitar, you don't need your thumbs at all.
If you have a real guitar or the guitar, the toy
guitar?
If you have
the guitar that they have.
Of course we got that. Of course we got that. That's still thumbs. It's up and down with your thumbs, man.
Where do you have to use your thumb?
If the thing goes up and down, the strum part, you can turn it up or down. I watched my daughter play it. She's a wizard with the thing. Not for me. Nicht von mir.
If you play with a joystick, you got to use the thumb.
So, but you can just keep going up the whole time with your fingertips, just like strum up.
Yeah, you just have to. Something has to set off the sensor, up and down the.
Okay, and then you got the fingers.
Your left hand, your 4 fingers on your left hand.
It's no DDR.
No, but you should listen. I played it once. I thought it would be stupid. It was kind of cool. And if you like a game like Tetris or stuff like that,
not anymore. I mean, I did my time with them. I have game ADD. I thought Tetris was the coolest thing, but then when I got tired of it, I got permanently tired of it. I don't want to play Tetris ever again.
No, but it's like that with music, and it plays. I mean, you should give it a try, George. I mean, you're pretty open-minded. You like to try stuff.
Yeah, I know.
All right, George. Well, hey, have a good one.
I mean, my daughter, for her sake, I should try it because she's been dogging me to try it, so I should.
Yeah, just try it. I mean, you might like it. If you don't like it, what did you lose?
Well, that was the whole thing with DDR. DDR didn't look like something I would enjoy, and it's a trip.
No, yeah, DDR looks like fun, but
It is fun. Trust me. Listen, it's not that hard, man. Listen, I hear your accent. You're a spick. You can dance. You can do DDR.
No. Listen, I'm the one. I'm like you. When I go to the party, everybody looks at me. You can't dance, and I'm like, no.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're not Irish. You're not my wife. You got rhythm.
Listen, hey, what are you talking about? Irish people. I went to Ireland this year, and Irish people would rock the DDR when they start doing the jig.
Right on. I know.
Listen,
you ever see an Irish jig?
I get what us sticks. What are we gonna do? Salsa on the thing? They don't have that level.
All right, man.
Step back, step back, or whatever it is how they do.
I can't do it. And I hate Cuban music. QAM, hello.
Dude, if you ever
QAM, hello.
Oh, George.
Yeah.
Hey, my daughter is into Dancing with the Stars on the Wii. Do you have the Wii?
No, we don't have the Wii. We have the PlayStation, and daughter's going to go get PlayStation 3.
I mean, if you're going to get her another system or whatever,
I'm not getting her anything ever. She's got her own job and her own money and her own car and her own agenda.
You have a little one. Don't you have a little one?
Yeah, I got a little one, and that's already. Hey, teen daughter already takes care of that. Teen daughter buys the electronics, and the little one plays with them. We scored her a computer.
Dancing with the Stars is kind of cool though.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
All righty. Have a good one.
Is it? And it's for Wii? Only for Wii?
Yeah, it's only for. The thing is, you have the controls on one side, on both sides, and you have to do certain motions and stuff. So.
All right. This is one of my favorite DDR songs, and by favorite I mean this is one of them that I can do well. QAM, hello. Hello.
George.
Yeah.
Georgie, cutie.
Hi. Who's this?
It's Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. How you doing? You're not in town, are you, baby?
I am not, but I am calling.
You're calling from Phoenix?
There is only one game since Mario 64 that makes me want to buy a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Guess what that game is?
Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
Well, go for it.
For 2 weeks, I played it at a horrible job, and it was the only reason I wanted to keep the job.
With the fake guitar, right?
With the guitar. And the other guy was right. You can use your finger. You don't have to use your thumb for strumming.
All right.
Give it a try.
I will, baby.
It's
okay.
addictive.
Bye, sweetie.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing, darling?
Bye. See you in the shower. 17 till 2 on 560 WQAM.
Have you been abused in the workplace, raped or screwed? Place your career in my silky smooth hands. Hello, this is Norma Kant for the lower orifices of Norma Kant. If you need me to conduct business on your behalf, let me explore for you. It may take up to 13 months for me to explore, but I will explore for you. Call 1-800. There's so many men to explore. That's 1-800. Maybe I should not schedule syndication meetings for Christmas Day. If your cell phone does not work because you're in California, call 1-800. I want to keep Neil hostage to South Florida. Call now, and you will receive a free cell phone, one that works almost as good as mine. That wasn't my cell phone. His name is Cesar.
Oh, sorry, I don't know how that ends. 11 till 2, 560 WQAM. I had a question here. I'm sure we're not going to get the answer. It's too late to start a big conversation about this. Here's a little teaser for next time. Because I don't notice these things. It doesn't happen a lot that men bring their daughters into the men's room with them. You encounter that a lot? It doesn't happen a lot. Really, I don't see. I guess I have. I must have. But apparently there's a situation with moms bringing their older boys into the women's room with them. And by older, like, I don't know. The wife's like, what should the age be? Because moms are walking into women's rooms in places, you know, like at the Y or at the mall or something like that. And the kid's practically taller than her. And it's like, it's just
that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah. You know, like these 7-8-year-old punk sons going in there following mommy because mommy either, you know, doesn't want to leave them unattended or they don't know how to use the bathroom. And it's not like, I know I'm not talking about kids that have something wrong with them, you know, anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's a dilemma because I know, and I say that, you know, with the wife, it's like, I don't want to do these extended day trips with just the daughter because of the bathroom situation. I don't want to bring her into the men's room. Duh. I ain't going into the women's room. I don't necessarily want her to go in unattended because at a certain, there's an age where you're comfortable with them taking care of themselves and then there's an age when you're not. And so it's like that. So, but moms, there's no reason, like the men children don't need as much tending to in the restroom, let's say at an early age. If they don't have that figured out, and the urinals are very user friendly for the boys, and you should know how to do that at a very early age for the boy. So that's something that, the wife, she wrote that down on my notebook previously and then harped at me because I talked around it. You know, she thinks that if she writes something down in the magic notebook, it's automatically going to be talked about. Well, I might bitch about it, but that doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to, you know, talk about it. A lot of things we didn't get to today because we were so distracted with the belly dance flap, the fallout. You're reading some of the messages.
Yes, I'm just reading. There's a couple of them that just need to be
insane. There's no other word for it. See, because stupidity, like management, stupidity can only explain so much, and then you have to start thinking, no. You're just whack. You're just cuckoo bananas. You are bonkers. You are beyond. That bitch there, why don't you talk about Middle Eastern women and how they're oppressed? Everybody knows that, bitch. You're not going to find two people to give a rat's ass about it over here. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. It's not my job to go over there and get something done about it. I don't know what organization is involved in getting the Muslims to treat their women like equals. I don't know what that organization is called, but I'm not going to join it because I got other things to do. I've got other people to do. I don't have time to deal with stuff that's going on the other side of the freaking planet, bitch. And we all know about it, and it's not controversial. You have to agree what?
I have to agree with what you were saying, that this was just like the opportunity for the couple of them to finally say, you know what, I think we need to start our own group. Because that's all.
Good. Start your own group and be taken very seriously. And, you know, and I'll promote it if you're prepared to take the art of belly dance very serious and at no point have a normal male reaction to a beautiful woman moving beautifully, then this other group is for you. They have no sense of humor at all. This is a very, very, very serious art. It's very serious.
And here I thought it was supposed to be, you're supposed to be enjoying it and having
Please
fun.
enjoy it, but just be careful how you enjoy it.
Just don't smile
make sure
too
that
hard.
you consider it an art. And this is not, I'm not doing this to be objectified. I'm not doing this to be objectified. Oh, please, I'm begging you. All right, I won't objectify you, but I'm begging you. Would you please objectify me? Would you please grant me the highest compliment that a woman could pay a man? And in one way or another, communicate this message to me, that you see me as a piece of meat, that you want sex from me and nothing else, that you don't want to know my name, that you don't value me as anything other than a sex object. That is the highest compliment that you could pay a man. See, we're just applying the golden rule. I'm not doing anything that we wouldn't want someone to do to us. That's a compliment. When someone looks at you and is attracted to you, guess what? That's a compliment on my planet. I don't know how it works on your planet. I don't want to visit your planet, actually, knowing that you do have that kind of a weird, twisted concept that you're going to dance provocative. I know you're not a stripper. Give me
If they knew you, they would know that if they were a stripper,
my wife's
you
a
would not be
freaking
talking
belly
about it.
dancer, you stupid cow, you sow, you green persimmon-sucking prig, you basket case, you wig job, you whack job, you nut.
I like the line that, George, we understand that your wife owns you. Most married men are owned by their wife. Yeah. What the...
Oh, because I said that, so, my wife owns me. I don't do anything that doesn't meet her approval.
No, but
I was right there at the party where they were talking about how inappropriate I was. My wife was right freaking there. The only person that I exchanged more than 5 words with during the course of that party, besides the group that we were with, was Isis. And she spent most of the night talking with my wife while I was out there roller skating. So I didn't have any kind of a conversation with anyone else at that party except the group that we were with, Medina, Jeanette, who checked in, and Isis, one of my top MySpace friends, who is the most spectacular belly dancer I've seen, and that includes the Belly Dance Superstars, whose concert I attended. It's 6 till 2 on all Wiggity Whack Radio, 560 WQAM.